And now a message from McAfee.
Your package couldn't be delivered.
You owe thousands in unpaid tolls.
You want a free gift.
If texts like these sound familiar, McAfee can help. McAfee automatically identifies text and email scams as well as AI-generated audio to help you stay safe. If they're faking it, they're not making it past us. Get award-winning scam detection today. McAfee.com/keepitreal.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana makes car selling fast and easy from start to finish. Enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds, down to the penny. If you accept, Carvana will come pick up your car from your driveway. Or you can drop it off at one of our car vending machines. Either way, you get paid instantly. It's fast, transparent, and 100% online. Car selling that saves your time. That's Carvana.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Live from New York, it's the show that is embarking on a team-destroying exercise after the show. We used to go bowling for our holiday party.
But we had to stop that because you threw a fit.
I did throw a fit.
Really?
I just felt like we've gone bowling for 5 or 6 years.
No, that's not what I mean.
No, that wasn't.
You threw a fit because I beat you in bowling.
Oh my gosh, we're like a 30.
And exactly.
He beat
and
you,
then
what,
I beat
81
him
to
twice.
75?
I beat him twice, got $100 out of him, and then needled him about it. And Wilds looked at me, dead serious. He was like, I know you think this is good for camaraderie. It's not.
Well, that's there's a certain point.
So we can't do it
on
anymore.
top of me.
Y'all were going at it. You were.
But now we're doing ping pong.
He was like you talked in my backswing. Like I was up for a spare. He was
generally like, what are you doing? Not high school free throws.
He got legit mad. So now we had to change sports. So now we're doing ping pong.
Ping pong's gonna be bad too. It's gonna be real bad.
I am great at ping pong, but I'm missing the fun.
Wow.
Why are you missing
That's
previous,
it's so unlike Brou to miss one of our post-show activities.
Prior engagement. I need to know earlier about the parties.
We have a party.
I didn't know when it was.
Today, the Patriots QB threw darts in the air. The Patriots defense threw dart in the air. What did New England prove their victory last night? Meanwhile, Stafford, Drake, JSN, Dak maybe, Josh Allen maybe? A fresh edition of Brou's Ballot.
It can't be Josh Allen.
It shouldn't be Josh.
There are only a handful of guys that want the award.
That want it.
I mean,
who wants it the most?
Miles Garrett
two,
wants it.
It starts getting hard to fill out the rest of Brou's
And finally, after a 4-touchdown performance, is Patrick Mahomes climbing back atop Mahomes Mountain? Alongside Nick Wright, I'm Kevin Wilds. Brou, why are you missing your 5th consecutive show party?
No, I was there last year. Remember, Greg and I had you two went at it bowling-wise.
And then Greg and Brou stayed late.
We stayed after.
Late. Yeah, we basically had like 2 parties.
Yeah. It was.
Okay, that's fair.
It was getting testy there. Greg was getting upset.
We are starting in Foxborough with the best team, according to the standings, in the AFC, the New England Patriots, team of the century.
NFL.
Dropped the Giants to 33-15. Drake had 2 more touchdowns, no big deal. Patriots have won 10 in a row. Here's the soon-to-be Coach of the Year.
Drake is, I think he's he's realizing what he can be and what the impact that he makes on this offense and being a conductor. He's hard on himself, and I think that he challenges himself as well as his coaches, and I mean, he means a great deal to this football team.
No, but not by that. Brou, what have the Patriots proven to you during this 10-game win streak?
Wilds, brace yourself.
Okay, I'm ready.
They have proven thus far that they are the best team in the AFC.
Wow, thank you. Hold that thought.
I should know by now.
You were saying something about best team in the NFL?
In the
I
AFC,
should know
I
that
think
they're coming.
Oh,
And
AFC?
I forget every time. At least the AFC. Now, I am not saying, Nick, that they're going to reach the Super Bowl. But I am saying thus far, they have had the best season of any team in the AFC. The only one you can compare them to is Denver. And while Denver's defense is great, the offense is obviously shaky.
Yep.
The Pats do everything well. They don't run it. They don't have a great run game, kind of mediocre. But it's not.
They don't do anything terribly.
Yeah, I mean, the run game, I don't think they're averaging 4 yards a carry, one of the few teams at that. But obviously, the offense is fine. They're 5th, I believe, or 7th in scoring at 27 a game. So then you look at, they've got arguably the best win in the AFC. When they go into Buffalo and beat them, that's in the conversation for best win of the season. And then you look at, we know they haven't played the toughest schedule, but they've routed a lot of bad teams. Like, if you play a bad team, you should rout
beat them up like last
They
night.
beat up Cleveland. We thought this was a bad team. Beating Carolina 42-13 ages very well.
They are occasionally bad. That's the weird thing about
but
Carolina.
look, they've beaten the Rams, the Packers, and the Cowboys. So, I mean, they're a pretty good team. And then last night, I mean, I thought the Giants would win, just kind of an upset, but obviously they just crushed them from the get-go. So I think right now you have to look at them as the best team in the AFC.
You're gonna be
I
mad.
want you
You're
to
gonna be mad at my takes, though. You sure?
Yeah, I want you to go.
It's gonna be bad for the show. This is gonna be worse than ping pong.
I want you to go.
Okay. I saw this meme on Reddit. Now, you know what? I didn't know how to post it, natively, so I had to take a screen grab and put it on Twitter. And this is largely a shot at the entire fandom of the NFL. You prayed for the Chiefs' downfall. And what did that do? It brought you back to me a Thanos graphic. It's a shout out to Pat's Reddit. So it's basically like we're back to being the dynasty. That's a little bit too much, but good for the meme world. Here's what I'm saying.
You think it's too much to say you're back to being a dynasty before you've won a playoff game?
I'm not saying that yet.
I'm
not saying that yet.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the analogy I would make. Man, on a work site, the OSHA guy shows up. He's not saying there's accidents, then you call the hospital. He's just looking out for an environment where accidents can happen. I'm just saying, if there was an OSHA guy dedicated to football dynasties, he would write the Patriots up.
Okay, so that is, I'll let you finish.
So I'll give you the right. We have the coach and the QB, which seems kind of easy to do. It's just two people. Until you go through the entire league, Jets, Dolphins, Bills, we were talking about McDermott getting fired, and you have that graphic. I don't have it, or not.
If a coach and quarterback don't win a Super Bowl within their first 5 years together, they've never won a Super Bowl.
Boom. So that also takes out
the Ravens.
The Steelers, the Bengals are going to fire their coach. The Browns have neither. Right. Titans, no. Texans, maybe. Colts, Jags, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, yes, maybe. And Raiders are out. So amongst that group, there's just a handful of teams that have coach and quarterback, and none of the quarterbacks this year are playing like Drake Maye. So here's Drake Maye's passer rating above 125, most in teams' first 13 games. They're just sort of legendary seasons. I don't know if Lamar seems legendary, but it was a quality season.
That was a great.
Yeah, he almost won MVP.
We're kind of. I'm not saying we are a dynasty. I'm just saying there's a lot of elements of dynasty that I would be nervous about if I wasn't a Patriots
Okay,
fan.
so this is. You said you thought this was going to be bad for the show because of the Chiefs graphic. That's not at all. I don't care about something dumb on Reddit. I think the part that I react to on that is I think you are setting yourself what should be nothing but jubilation. Because I was going to say nothing but good things, and I still will. You forget the cart before the horse. You're 30 steps out in front. And maybe because you guys had the greatest dynasty in the history of football.
Yeah, dynasty's in our DNA.
But it's not. I
think you're a little.
It is. You are acting as if there is no bridge between Super Bowl contender, which you are, and Super Bowl champion, which you might be, and dynasty, of which there have been 5 in the history of pro football, and none simultaneous. And so now maybe the Chiefs are just done. Maybe it's, I'm not talking about this season. Maybe Mahomes and Reed are done. But it's also very often that we don't go consecutive dynasties. I've never once in my life following sports heard of a team discussed as a dynasty before it has played a single playoff game. And your OSHA stuff, all of that could apply to a bunch of teams right now. Like right now, that is not the dynasty pedigree, but it's what the Chargers feel. Like finally, we got Herbert, the right coach. We're 8-4. We're in great shape.
Dynasty's not in their DNA. Falling apart is in their DNA.
Okay, but again, I don't believe that the stadium or the jerseys have. I think Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, if either one of them were still there, even in a consultancy role, maybe I'd buy it more. But so I think sometimes we discuss whether we should talk about the game last night or look forward. Today we agreed we're going to look forward. I didn't know we were going to look forward 7 years.
Well, but I thought it's asked to start.
Dynasty is a little strong.
But KW,
because Dynasty's not in your DNA.
It's in Tom Brady.
It's in Tom Brady's DNA.
This is this century. I'm just
before Brady. It was
this century. I just started this.
Again, it is, I'm not gonna. I'm going to say what I was going to say at the beginning because I want to be positive because they deserve it today. I'm not yet putting Drake Maye on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, which he will be if you have a dynasty. I'm not yet putting Mike Vrabel in the Hall of Fame, which he will be if you have a dynasty. Though I'm not yet saying that Drake Maye is going to win more Super Bowls than Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers combined.
I'm not saying we have a dynasty. I'm just saying there's open paint cans in the corner that someone needs to
you know what you were right about. You ticked him off with your take.
Well, but it's just I just think it's silly, to be totally honest. Because my big takeaway is most rebuilds are fraudulent, and the Patriots are proving it. It does not. If you are in Atlanta, and it's seriously, guess what? You don't have the guys. You've had a couple years of Raheem and Penix. You don't have it.
Correct.
If you're in Minnesota, you don't have the guy. You've had two. I understand he's been hurt. You've had two. You believe you have the coach. You don't have the quarterback. If you have the right coach and the right quarterback, and it's not a rookie quarterback, by year 2, even if they've only been together 1 year. Like Chicago, in a lesser way, is proving it as well. It does not take 4 years to tear down and rebuild. If you have the right two guys that you're talking about, it can be instantly done. And the other thing that, to me, they've proven is validating what I said about Drake Maye a few weeks ago, which I think you agreed with, which is, to me, he is Brou, a top 5 quarterback moving forward. I believe that. I don't think he's going to have a fall off. And of all the quarterbacks younger than Lamar, Josh, Patrick, Joe, so those guys are 28 to 30. So that is Herbert. That is Jaden. That is CJ. That's Caleb. That's Purdy.
J-Lo.
That's Love. That's Hurts. That's the Prince. I'm going to include him. That's Knicks. I'd rather have Drake Maye than any of them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but think about what you just said, KW. You just said, dismissively, I included Jalen Hurts in there.
Well, it's been a rough.
He's way.
And so
Hurts takes up no space.
I'll defend Jalen Hurts and tie to another question that I thought about while you were talking. We're like, what's the dynasty? There's no through line. 1, Mike Vrabel, the head coach, was part of the dynasty playing. 2, it's Tom Brady's offensive coordinator making this game very easy for Drake Maye. So I do think there is a through line. And the Josh McDaniels piece that Jalen Hurts is missing. The fact that Jalen Hurts has been a victim of his own success with a turnover of coaches being poached. Offensive coordinators being poached. Sirianni's still there, obviously. Where I think Josh McDaniels has kind of had his cup of coffee as a head coach. I think that he's settled down.
But this is now the same. You can now put back to you the same arguments that when we would have going into last year's Super Bowl, when we were talking about could Mahomes catch Brady, and it's like, how many Super Bowls does he need? And Wild's is big on he needs 7. Mm-hmm. So now the arguments to me was, so Josh is never getting one. So Lamar's never getting one. So Joe Burrow's never getting one.
That combo
No, right. That's fine. But they can fire their coaches.
Okay.
But if the beginning of their careers were the Chiefs dynasty, and now we're in the 11-2 0 playoff win, not yet clinched the playoffs, but I think they'll get their Patriot dynasty. Then I guess those guys who are some of the greatest quarterbacks ever, and Jalen Hurts, who's one of the greatest winners ever, and Nick Sirianni, who's John Madden, they're all just done winning championships?
It's tough to think about. Gentlemen, thank you as always. Would you like to hear my cap space numbers? We've also got the most cap space and 10th most next year. Thank you. Jackson Dart, back from a concussion, decided to scamper down the sidelines for a first down rather than go out of bounds. Eventually, Christian Ellis showed him to the sidelines. A fracas occurred. Giants penalized for retaliating against the Patriots for a legal play. Here's Jackson Dart on changing his playing style.
No. Look, like, I understand the question, but like this is football. Like, I'm gonna get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. Like, I feel like I've played this way my whole entire life. This shouldn't be like any shocker to anybody if you've followed along with my career. And we're not playing soccer out here. Like, you're gonna get hit. Things happen. It's part of the game.
Didn't love the shots at soccer, but Brou, your reaction.
First of all, you know I love the sentiment.
Yeah.
You know I love the sentiment.
I knew you were going to be conflicted on this, Brou.
That is how every football player should think. That is how football players thought before youngsters traded in their shoulder pads for flags. All right? And that is football. It is a violent collision sport. All right?
Sure.
That said, he's not a linebacker. Correct. He is a quarterback. And when he says, I played this way my whole life, it's different in the NFL. I said, you guys will admit this. I said the same thing essentially about Travis Hunter. Oh, you've gone both ways your whole life. So what?
Yeah.
This is the NFL. You're not going to be head and shoulders above everybody else athletically. And Jackson Dart, I mean, even high level, which of course he played in SEC, Division I football is not in the same class, even close to the same class as the NFL. And I understand it. I think everybody could respect his viewpoint, but he's going to have to change it because he won't last. Case in point, Cam Newton, who's twice as big as Jackson Dart, had 8 years because he took shots. And he delivered some shots himself. But you can't play at this level and just keep taking these hits. And he's already shown he's a bit fragile because he's been tested for 4 concussions. He will not get through 3 years as a starter if he keeps that mentality. All you got to do is slide, get out of bounds. It doesn't mean you're not tough. We know you're tough, but that won't work in the NFL. Simple as that.
Not only is this not admirable, it's idiotic.
Yeah.
And it shows a lack of understanding of your importance to the team. And there is a responsibility the quarterback of a team has to be available, flatly. And it is the only through line, the only trait, every single one of the Mount Rushmore adjacent, and how far down you want to go, all-time quarterbacks have, is they were out there.
Yep.
It's the only one. They have all different styles, backgrounds, playing all of it. They were all available. And this strikes me as a combination of hubris, some weird machismo that is unnecessary. Bro, you are a professional football player. Everybody knows you're tough. Like, you know what I mean? You wear, as an homage to your sister, her necklace when you play, which shows you're very confident in your own masculinity or whatever it is, doesn't care. We all know you've been that guy forever. It also doesn't matter if you get knocked out of the game. Like, it doesn't matter how tough you are. And to your point, the one injury he's dealt with in his professional career is the one that you're not allowed to tough it out on. You can't be like, I have cracked ribs, I'll play through it. Not allowed with a concussion. And so it's stupid. And so I think sometimes guys think that this will make me seem like earn people's respect.
Correct.
And my take on that is, I feel like that earns the respect of the lowest common denominator. Like, yeah, man, that doesn't understand.
Brou was ripping flag football.
But
it's just at that position, even the linebackers and linemen know you can't have that mentality as a quarterback.
And so I would, whoever the Giants hire to be their next head coach, one of his primary jobs is to convince Jackson Dart that that's one of the dumbest press conferences he's ever given.
That's a good take.
You can't play that way.
You won't lie.
The other thing you mentioned, Cam Newton. I wonder if before doing that press conference he saw the video. Like, Cam Newton wasn't getting hit like that, flying 5 yards.
No,
in
Cam
the
was
air.
delivering the punishment.
Yes. Josh Allen doesn't fly through the air like that.
No, but Josh Allen is damn near Cam Newton's size. And what did Tom Brady say to Josh Allen?
Get down.
You got to get, and so it's just foolish. It's foolish.
Check in on the Thursday game. Cowboys in Detroit. Dallas a field goal underdog. Dak starting to feel confident after beating both of last year's Super Bowl teams last week. Take a listen.
We didn't play good ball early, and now we're starting to catch our stride. We're starting to figure out who we are on not just offense but defense and as a team. Been on other teams where you started off hot and you're at this time of the year trying to figure out what you've got to do to get back on the horse, and to have the momentum we do right now, the confidence, and not just that, the right guys in the locker room who understand where we are, who understand that this is the most important time of the year.
Okay, who do you trust more, Cowboys or the Lions?
This is fuzzy analysis, but I just can't imagine Detroit goes out like this. And that's really the end of it. Like, I did not expect Detroit to be as good this year as they were last year. I didn't look at them as a preseason Tier 1 Super Bowl contender. But it is almost impossible for me to imagine a scenario where and I understand now Amon-Ra's banged up, Terrion Arnold's on IR, but where a Detroit team that's been mostly healthy throughout the year is going to be de facto eliminated from playoff contention in the first week of December. I can't, especially because they haven't shown to me, they didn't go through like a month-long swoon. Like they still have that streak of not losing back-to-back intact. And so, and the flip side of that fuzzy analysis is, I saw firsthand how good Dallas can be last week, and we saw them come back from 21-0 down on Philly. It is very difficult for me to see a Cowboys team that right before that got beat by Arizona and blasted by the Broncos. I know the Broncos are good, but they don't blast people.
Yeah.
That they are all of a sudden in a 2-week stretch going to go Philly, Kansas City, Detroit, win. And so that is not the sharpest analysis. I understand it. But because of those scenarios, and it's in Detroit, and I think this is the first time all year Detroit has been desperate. Cowboys have been desperate, which means you've almost used like some of your desperation oil already. I like Detroit.
Well, here's the thing with that fuzzy analysis, as you called it. We would have absolutely said the same thing about the Chiefs. And we're still saying it. Like there's no way their backs against the wall, they're losing to Bo Nix in Denver. There's no way backs against the wall, Thanksgiving Day, all of America watching, most watched game ever maybe, regular season, they're not losing that to Dallas, and it's happened. I trust Dallas more. Now, a couple years ago, I would have said Detroit, But Detroit, number one, is not as good as – I think this is their worst team in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't think the 12-5 team that made it to the conference championship, I think was better. Last year when they won 15 games, I think they were better. Defensively, even with all the injuries last year, they still were a top 10 defense in scoring. This year, they're 15th in scoring defense. You mentioned Terry and Arnold, the cornerback being out, is huge in this game. Because you got to deal with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, right? Laporta's already out, the tight end. Now you might be out without Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I just think I think Brian Schottenheimer has brought – they look better coached. I know I joked about him earlier in the season when they were losing and everything. They look better coached than they did last year. You don't see the game management mistakes that we used to see under Mike McCarthy, who obviously was a successful coach. So I think that'll transfer to their mentality, whereas in the past, I don't know if they got kind of full of themselves or they read their press clippings or whatever it was, but I think this team will be more dialed in. And the other thing, Nick, in a few of the games you mentioned that lost, like Denver and stuff, they didn't have this defense, like some of the guys that came back, overshown. Yeah. But Quinnen Williams obviously has made Kenny Clark better, but Clark is a good player in his own right. Quinnen Williams, they shut down the run. That's nothing against Mike. I still think best thing for them to do would have been to keep Micah. But they do shut down the interior runs. So you can't really run on them up the middle, which will be interesting in this game with Jahmyr Gibbs, who's a great running back. But, yeah, I just think the defense has now become at least solid. And with that offense, yeah, I trust them more because I don't think Detroit's the same.
3-0 after the bye. Their defense has gone from 31 points a game to 22 points a game. Yeah. Pretty good. Is Tomlin on the hot seat? That is next on FS1 and the Fox Sports Channel on Sirius XM.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jay Kelly, the new film from Academy Award nominee Noah Baumbach. George Clooney stars as an actor confronting his past and present on a journey of self-discovery, alongside Adam Sandler as his devoted manager. Critics are calling it a declaration of love to the chaotic art of filmmaking, with the Wall Street Journal praising it as a transcendent comedy drama. Watch Jay Kelly December 5th, only on Netflix.
This holiday season, Fox Sports and Purple Heart Homes are teaming up to provide housing solutions for our nation's aging and disabled veterans through the Heart for the Holidays campaign. To learn how you can help, scan the QR code or visit go.fox/Purple Heart Homes. Welcome back to First Things First. Greg Jennings is here. We're talking about Shedeur. His second start netted 8 points for the Browns as the 49ers rolled, and Brock was hitting the Dougie in the end zone. Welcome back to the Dougie.
Notice we haven't talked about Brock.
Well,
we only talk about Brock when his job's on the line. I mean, really.
Did you want Browns-Niners to make Monday's show? What should we have taken out, Brou?
If Brock had thrown 3 interceptions, it would have made Monday's show.
Of course. When a man bites a dog, that's the story.
New York Times.
16 for 25, 1 touchdown. Do you expect Shedeur to prove he's the Browns' franchise quarterback?
Expect is too strong. I would love to see it. You guys know I thought he should have been the first quarterback taken in the draft. But still, at this point, with all that's happened, expect is too strong. What I do expect is him to prove, I think he's already proven he's better than Dylan Gabriel. I think some might say, well, he's been about the same. But just the fact that he can throw it downfield, like with regularity and complete passes, past 15, 20 yards, like he can do all the small, short stuff that Gabriel was doing, plus he gives you that extra dimension. So I think he's proven that. And one of the reasons I'm shaky on the expecting him to prove he's a franchise quarterback is I don't know how Stefanski, and I'm not saying he's against him, but who knows? But there's, you want to read body language all you want. But I thought in this game, Shedeur threw 25 times. He threw, I think 10 of his passes came in the last 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. So through 3 quarters, he threw 15 passes. Their season is over as far as playoffs or anything like that. This is all about seeing what Shedeur can do, so let him throw the football. I'm not sure Stefanski's going to do that. He might keep him at 20 passes and below. So if he will let him, throw the ball, and it might be bad, I don't know, but you have to see what this kid can do. So I will go this far and say I do expect Shedeur over the course of the next several games, hopefully he starts the rest of the year, to at least prove, Greg, he should go into training camp next year with a chance to start. Like that he.
You're not drafting a quarterback.
I can't. Well, that would mean he's proven he's the franchise quarterback. I think he will prove that he's got a chance to start next year. Like he'll be in the battle next year. I won't go further than that.
Okay.
I'm kind of tracking what you're saying. For me, it's a matter of him being in the discussion at the end of the year. And a large part has to do with them giving him the opportunity to just explore who he is and what he has the potential to be as a pastor. You mentioned his attempts. They have to give him an opportunity to just play. Yeah. Because you're not playing for anything. I understand there's a way you want it to look if you're Kevin Stefanski, but you're trying to make decisions moving forward at this quarterback position. The only way we will know and they will find out if he is even in the discussion of being the guy is if they allow him to open up the passing game and put a lot more on his plate. That being said, I do believe it's going to be challenging because we're going to get a mixture of what we saw the first time we saw him out. It is for his first start.
Yeah.
Right.
And then this second start. And neither of them are superb, but the first start, it was like, okay, they got something. The second start was, especially after the comments after the game, you kind of had the expectation of he's going to deliver a little bit more. So I think he puts a little bit more eyes on what his performance looks like because of some of the things that he says. But I think by the end of the season, he should be in discussion. And if his game matches what he feels, he should be in the discussion.
Yeah, I don't think he will be. I think they're going to draft a quarterback with their pick. And I also don't agree with you guys that Kevin Stefanski owes him more pass attempts. Kevin Stefanski's trying to – Shedeur Sanders, whether he should or shouldn't have been, was a fifth-round pick. It is not the head coach's number one job. If Dylan Gabriel were playing and they were in a 10-8 game with the Niners, none of us would say – man, even if it cost them a chance to win, they should have let Gabriel throw more. And they have more invested in Gabriel than they do Shedeur. Now, I never understood the Gabriel pick. I'm not a Gabriel fan of the player. But the Browns, what Stefanski is trying to do is keep his job. And the best way for him to do that is to win a few games.
Yeah.
And that Niners game,
even if he doesn't know who his quarterback is?
I think he has very strong beliefs that his quarterback is not on the roster. And I think that most teams the quarterbacks on the roster were a third-round pick and a fifth-round pick, neither of whom wowed you enough in the offseason to displace Joe Flacco, you feel like that they are not going to grow enough in the next 9 months to where maybe they will have a way long-term future, a la, Kirk Cousins eventually becoming a starter from being a fourth-round pick. But I think that they believe they're going to have to go find a quarterback. And if Shedeur surprises them, great. But I am not crafting my game plan around trying to acquire as much knowledge as possible about Shedeur Sanders. I'm crafting my game plan around trying to beat the Niners.
Wow. Obviously you want to win games. But I think they got two things left this season. See if Shedeur is your guy for next year and Myles Garrett breaking the sack record. That's it. And I know I don't want to be unfair to the rest of the roster, and obviously you want to try to win. But I think they need to find out, and I think the owner feels the same way. If Shedeur's the guy.
Can I just add just one more thing? I understand a lot of people are ascribing a lot of nefarious things to Stefanski, and I do believe that he's in a weird spot because I think the pick was pushed upon him by ownership. I do believe that. But I also think it's in play that the best thing for Shedeur is limited passes. And Stefanski knows it. And that it was like, keep him honest with the run game, keep it close, don't get in must-pass situations. Like, I do think it is possible, guys, that Shedeur, that if they were like, hey, Shedeur, it's all yours today, it would not turn out well at all right now.
I wonder how the story changes next week if he outplays Cam Ward.
Yeah, against the Titans.
I think it's specifically, and then he's got Caleb the next week. Like, ooh, 2 number 1 picks. If he can just go, toe-to-toe with those guys.
The Titans might be the worst team I've seen in 10 years. So I think that's a possibility. I'd be shocked.
But it would just be straight. If I was a decision maker, like, man, that's the number 1 pick.
I think Shedeur, and again, he obviously hasn't looked great. I think he's looked better than you would think he's looked like the way he's been treated this year. And I get it. I'm not saying they've done him wrong. The way he's been treated, Stefanski hasn't shown any real, affection to him or anything like that in his comments. Didn't give him the game ball. I get it. Myles Garrett was great with the sacks. But whatever. Rookie in his first start gets a win. Your team never wins. But, I think Shedeur has looked better than what I would expect from him based on Stefanski's actions. I thought, man, he must be looking like he can't grasp an NFL offense the way they I thought, treated him.
Okay. He scored 8 points. I mean, it's not.
No, it wasn't great, but I thought he looked pretty decent.
All right, Titans, Browns on Sunday. The Steelers got rolled in their own building by the Bills. Mike Tomlin was serenaded with boos and fire Tomlin chants. He was asked about the chants and said this today. Take a listen.
In general, I agree with him. From this perspective, football is our game. We're in the sport entertainment business. And so if you root for the Steelers, entertaining them is winning. And so when you're not winning, it's not entertaining. And if you've been in this business, you understand that. And so I respect it. I share frustrations. I understand what makes this thing go, and winning is what makes this thing go.
Should Tomlin be on the hot seat?
I think a mutual parting of ways could benefit everybody. I think it could. I think that Mike Tomlin, for all of his strengths, it's pretty clear he's not going to be able to manufacture a team that has a competent offense unless he has a quarterback in place. And that's not, listen, I'm not going to kill him for it. There's a lot of good coaches that are that way. Not third rail, but a lot of people think that applied to Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? He, as great as he was defensively, if he didn't have the quarterback in place, it wasn't going to be able to work offensively. I think it's safe to say they're not winning a playoff game this year. I feel confident in that. Right now, there are 7 other teams that haven't won a playoff game since the 2017 season and now. The Jets, the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Cardinals, and then the Broncos and Bears, who could end that streak. Haven't won a playoff game in the last 8 years, however long that is. Those teams have been through 28 head coaches. So you normally don't get, now there has to be a happy medium between just always changing head coaches.
Part of it, yeah.
But I think that if the Steelers said, you know what, we're going to try for the first time ever this whole offensive-minded head coach thing, and if Mike Tomlin's like, I'm going to go somewhere where the quarterback's already there, and I don't have to spend so much of my time and energy trying to figure out how we're going to eke out 18 points with Mason Rudolph or Kenny Pickett or 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers or 39-year-old Big Ben at the end, I think could be best for everybody.
So for me, firing him seems extreme. The mutual parting of ways makes more sense because for me, when you look at the Steelers, I don't know if there's a coach that you can insert and when you're taking Mike Tomlin out and they could sustain the type of winning with what he has not had at quarterback. And so I don't want to discredit what he's done. However, in saying that, he talked about the standard is the standard. That's winning is our game, or I think it's
winning is entertainment.
Yeah, football is our game, and winning is our business, or we're in the business of winning. That's how he defines it. They haven't been in the business of winning when it matters most. That's the issue. And so when your messaging is consistent, but who's receiving that message isn't delivering, because he talks about how the standard is upheld. It's with the players and how they perform time after time again on the field of play. That hasn't been the case when the messaging needs to be at its height, and that's the postseason. To your point, I don't care who you get in there. The standard of Pittsburgh is going to be winning in the postseason, not just sustaining the tradition of winning in the regular season, which he's done better than any coach we've ever witnessed. And so I just don't think that they're going to be willing to immediately make that change. But at the same time, the messaging may have grown a little stale with the guys within that locker room. And in another locker room, it just hits, and they get off to a great rolling start.
Well, you said there's no coach out there, or very few coaches out there, that'll go in there and sustain the level of success that Tomlin has. But that's what they need. The problem is Tomlin.
They need to follow.
Yeah, Tomlin is so good that even without a quarterback for the last 9 years or whatever it's been, he's been able to get them in the playoffs several times, win 9, 10 games, whatever. They're going to keep doing that. If Tomlin stays, Rodgers, let's say he leaves next year, they bring in Kyler Murray, whoever, they're going to be the same team. They're basically the same as they were last year with Mason Rudolph. They're going to be the same team if they get rid of Tomlin. And I don't want to say get rid, because I think hot seat isn't the right term. I agree with you, like Nick, the mutual party in the ways I got that written down. No, but like they don't generally fire. Pittsburgh doesn't fire coaches. It's hard. It is written, but you can't read it. You know, they don't fire. So
that's
I
why the trade or something
makes more sense. I actually think both sides should want, like, let's say they go 9-8, miss the playoffs. Tomlin should want to get a new start somewhere, and the Steelers should want a new start. And even if it means, man, we win 4 games next year, that maybe they can get the quarterback they need.
The fans aren't chanting mutual parting of ways. Like, you're dialed into, well, your buddy does Pittsburgh radio.
Yes, there are some fans that are sick of him. I get that. That's not really how the Rooney family does business. Right. I'll just add one more very quick thing. I do wonder if part of so much of Tomlin's mystique has been this, we never have a losing season. Does that lead you to drafting the D tackle instead of Jackson Dart? Does that, like,
I felt like Pickett scared him off.
But I guess, is there?
But I get it.
Is the fear of, like, going through the awful year preventing you from getting back? Whatever it is, it just. We've used this comp before. I use it again. Andy Reid wasn't a bad coach in Philly. Right. No. He had a bad ending. Yeah. I don't think anybody thought this guy's an idiot, but it was like, okay, best for everybody, and it was.
Yeah, but clearly the key ingredient for his sustained success has been to have the personnel defensively to help sustain that, despite what we don't have on offense.
Bru's Ballot next. Is there going to be a shakeup at the top after Matthew Stafford lost the game?
Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... there, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
Myles Garrett got Brock on Sunday for his 19th sack of the season.
See, there's Brock in the show, Brou.
There you go.
Greg, you notice they only let me talk Brock when
put him on the ballot. Put him on Bru's ballot.
He hadn't played enough games.
3.5 away from tying the record, but the Browns only have 3 wins. Let's see if it's enough to keep him on. Dun, 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 dun. Bru's ballot.
I gotta be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Like, after the first 2. It's shaky.
For MVP of the league?
Yeah. I mean, because we looking at the guy. Yeah, looking at guys, you know. So here we go. At number 5, a wide receiver. Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now, he had two catches, 23 yards last week.
Yeah,
that's
he
one
fell off
bad
the
game.
pace.
Right.
But that does hurt him that he fell off the 2K.
Yep, but he's still the only receiver in the league over 100 yards, over 96 yards, actually. He's got 111 per game. So I'll keep him on there. It's a thin field at this point. At number 4, the sack artist. Still on pace for 27. He only had, one you said?
Just one.
One. But he's on pace. He's got 19 in 12 games. That's unbelievable. He's on pace for 27. The Titans?
Yeah. I mean, this could.
He might break.
He could break the record.
He only needs 3.5.
He only needs
4
to
break.
I know. He could break it.
Yeah, he
could break it.
Yeah, he should break it. That's a good bet. I bet you'll be making.
Fourth down decision. Cam, can I say something real quick? Cam Ward went from being so disrespected by us not caring about him being the number 1 pick to so lucky that people don't care about him being the number 1 pick.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Interim coach.
Hey, that's great.
Let's punt the ball.
Okay.
I'm playing savvy football.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is a new addition, has not appeared all season. At number 3. I'm going to give Dak some love.
There you go.
I'm going to give him some. Now, look, and I'm going to talk about this guy later in the show. Jared Goff's numbers are better. But when you watch the games, Dak is putting them on his back in a way that Goff's not. Goff doesn't really appear to put them on his back. Now, he plays well, but Dak, I feel like, is more the engine than Goff is with the Lions. Playing great football.
Brou, that would be his second top 5 MVP finish in the last 3 years.
Now, this could change. Look, if they got to be above 500, and they are, and that's why I kind of start feeling like he's eligible.
Here we go.
But we'll see. It's a long season left to be played. All right, at number 2, Wilds, stay the same. Stay the same. He was great.
Brou's the best.
He was great, but look, it's not a one-game award. The number 1 guy, everybody's All-American, Matthew Stafford, Nick, has 9 more touchdown passes than the great Drake Maye. I'm giving him love. 9 more in 1 fewer game.
Yeah.
So we can't, not yet.
And
now I feel like I think
trying his best.
I think Drake is closer to number 1 than I think Nick does.
Oh, I think
he's decreased the gap. But right now, Stafford right now has a slight edge over Drake.
For whatever it's worth, Brou, perfect ballot.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. Legitimately, this would be. I think Jonathan Taylor has to fall off because his pace is falling off and his team's falling off. I love that Myles Garrett. It wouldn't narratively make sense if Myles Garrett got dinged for them losing because they've been losing all year. So, and I think Dak. I think Preston in this award does have to go to quarterbacks. Yeah. So Dak, jumping those guys, totally fine. I know we're going to talk more about May MVP stuff later and with Danny. But I just want to echo what Brou said. Obviously, Drake Maye had an awesome week 13, and Matt Stafford had his second worst game of the year. Mm-hmm. But that does not, by my metric, default to where that means they have to flip-flop. Right. That is, if we were only 5 weeks into the season, and that's 20% of the sample, but it's 7% of the season or whatever, to me, that wasn't enough for me to flip-flop it. I know you're tweeting out about MVP and you're talk showing about dynasties. I think he could win it. And I think year 2 quarterbacks have won it. Like, it's on the board. I don't think he's there yet.
Vegas odds.
He's number 1.
He's the slight favorite.
I'm surprised. I was surprised.
But again,
it has the most wins.
Where you at?
Right. Look, I like the ballot. I love what I'm seeing out of Drake Maye. And I think just the style of offense that they play versus, especially in the red zone, versus what we see that the Rams do, you can tell the Rams are almost force-feeding the ball to
Devontae.
Touchdown.
Not necessarily Devontae, but just
touchdown.
Throw touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford.
The short touchdown passes.
And so in terms of catching him, he's not going to get caught because that's the way they play. That's how they're playing this year. Drake Maye, his overall body of work, guys, it is.
KW.
It's tough.
Very good.
He looks great.
KW, I'm curious. On your internal ballot, if Stafford plays great this week, will he leapfrog Maye?
Yes.
Because Maye's off.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is Maye.
Ball's Mountain next.
Maye's not playing.
I'm a big recency.
Every leap in American history has needed breakthrough energy.
Ignition, liftoff.
Now, AI is here, and Chevron is working to power it. We're aiming to develop multi-gigawatt power plants near data centers, designed with future pathways to lower carbon intensity. AI gets the power it needs, communities get the jobs, and the grid stays strong. Powering AI today builds America's next superpower.
Live from New York. It's a show that's thanking you for watching these last few years where we've had great chemistry. It's basically going to end today at 7 o'clock when we play competitive ping pong. And the show falls apart, and there'll be carryover for months, if not years to come.
Can I tell you
so
something?
Thank you for the ride. But
The audience is far less worried about tonight's holiday party breaking us apart.
Yes.
And far more worried about this new persona you've developed tearing us apart.
It's really just my true self.
I know, exactly.
You sense it, Greg? He wanted a fun hang for the last 4 years while the Patriots struggled.
I wanted
now that
competitive
they're
sports
good,
debate.
yes, he wants competitive.
And now KW.
Hey, whatever he says, I'm following. He's the leader of the show.
See?
I'm excited to see Brou there tonight.
I can't. I can't make it. You're lucky too, because you and I are competitive.
Interesting.
And you don't want me in no ping pong, man. I'm telling you.
I would guess Greg's great at ping pong. I would just guess it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Notice he didn't say.
It's going to be a disaster.
He barely edged me in bowling.
Are the Patriots the best team in the AFC or the entire NFL? Oh, that's a good question. Meanwhile, Alexi Lalas joins us to preview the World Cup draw this Friday.
There's a very interesting wrinkle that I have to get into with Alexi.
Okay.
About the draw.
I'm interested in that. But right now, we're headed to the mountain. Take a listen. Woof. The weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Wow, did I just invent that? Trademark. Week 13 in the books. This is our chalet once you climb up to 11 wins as a quarterback. That's why it's Patriots themed, because no one else is here. And let's hope that it's reflected in today's episode of Mahomes Mountain. I'm going to leave too. Told you.
Well done.
That's all up. Yeah.
I got to admit,
Yeah.
That was nice.
I don't totally understand how that happened.
That was good. That looks great.
You're real.
I'm just showing
and
up.
the door is real. That other stuff is the robots. I don't understand how. I don't get it though. I got to be honest with you.
I didn't do it. I was just there. It's all of our great AI team and Gianna and Hubs and Rick and everybody.
I'm pretty.
Shay's out there.
As a rule of thumb, I'm pretty anti-AI. That. I don't know if that made me more or less anti.
Don't forget about loneliness.
I know. You always talk about this loneliness.
Loneliness is an epidemic.
Wilds watched the movie Her, and it's just burrowed in his head like a
what
brain
it's about.
worm.
It's about the elderly.
But the concept.
Was that about AI making
No,
people
that guy
feel
was up to no good. He fell in love with Scarlett Johansson.
Well, what's that got to do with AI?
It has nothing to do with the elderly. But the elderly is an epidemic. That guy was just at a dead-end job. Time for the mountain.
Off the mountain, at least some guys are getting healthier. So bottom of the mountain, listen, Jaden should be back. Kyler, I said it when it happened, classic one. Kyler's never playing another snap for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They still have an ag. They open up his practice window. That's over. Michael Penix obviously hurt, out for the year. J.J. McCarthy's going to be back. Glass 1/10 full. He'll be better than Brosmer.
He saw Brosmer. He's like, heck yeah.
I'm ready.
You see what I'm overcoming? Meanwhile, Justin Jefferson's on LinkedIn. Like, you got to be kidding me. And then a bunch of young quarterbacks and Kirk Cousins. Bottom of the mountain. I understand they won. If you watch that football game, Tua struggled quite a bit. I understand they lost. But if you watch that football game, Marcus Mariota made some nice plays. Good for him. the Steelers lost. Aaron, I get it wasn't your fault. You're showing up to meetings, you're hand signaling, you're doing all your stuff. Accountability starts with me, but all these other guys kind of suck and they're lazy and they're unprofessional. But they're true professionals. Tyrod Taylor was fine. Jackson Dart, he's green because he was off the mountain. Now he's on the mountain. It's fine. He's a bit of a knucklehead, but it's fine. Gino was fine, bro. Deserves a spot on the mountain. Don't be yelling at Gino. If Shedeur's on the mountain, Gino can be on the mountain. Row 6. Wow. What a row. Trevor moved up. Purdy moved up. Bryce played a really good game. CJ didn't play well, but they've got 7 wins now. Daniel Jones, I was going to move him down. Wilds is banging on me. He's like, got broken leg. What do you want from him? Another amazing row. All these guys had to drop. Lamar, I don't know what's going on.
He's hurt.
Man, is it his eyes? Jalen Hurts. I've never seen a football team where if the star receiver doesn't get the ball, they win.
Yeah.
And if the star receiver has an awesome game, they lose. I can't figure it out. Right. This is not QB wins mountain.
Tough one.
Fair is fair. Caleb was not good. The mountain is always fair. It was fair to Caleb when he was the 6th best quarterback alive at USC. He's got to get back there one day.
Now he's number 1 in the NFC.
Number 1 in the right. When you're playing in the Alamo Bowl, you're 6th best quarterback in the world. Number 1 seed in the NFC, you're in row 5. It's how it works. Jared Goff, I thought played well. I also think there's something wrong with the Lions right now. Goff was maybe the toughest one. And Bo Nix, we didn't talk about it yesterday. And again, the Broncos can't help themselves but play closer games than they should and stare, losses in the face and then win. However, as someone that's watched Bo Nix very carefully his whole pro career, I believe the 2 best games he has played are the last 2 games he played. Yeah. I know the pick to Bobby Wagner was terrible, but I thought he played well in that game. Played really well against Chiefs. Row 4. Jordan Love moves up. The Bake Show back on the running track moves up. Justin Herbert with his broken left hand and talking to Max Crosby, he moves up. Sam Darnold again. They won 26-0. They didn't need him to do much. I thought he had a shaky game. And other guys deserve those spots. It's hard to penalize them too much because they were playing Max Brosmer and they didn't really need a safety would have just won the game. But still, that's that row. This might be the most star-studded row 3 in the history of the mountain. In fact, it is. Row 3. Wow. It pained me to move Patrick Mahomes down after that game on Thanksgiving. I thought he was an A+. However, while it's not QB wins mountain, so game they had to have, they lost. There were other guys that had the argument to move up. So even though I thought Patrick was a 9.8 out of 10, he drops. Josh Allen almost dropped. And the only reason he didn't drop was I was afraid that Josh Allen media intelligentsia would come and attack me because I watched after that game like, only Josh Allen could have carried him to win like that. Like, huh? I understand it's the holiday season. We've all been drinking, but we got the same feeds of this game, didn't we? Joe Burrow, welcome back, Joe. First time on the mountain in months. Row 2. Dak and Drake Maye moves up. Remember, Drake Maye was in row 3 after his tough game, and you got mad at me. Patrick was in his spot. He moved up. This is where I was conflicted about Patrick. Felt like Drake had to move up. I couldn't move Dak down after they won. Even though he threw the pick, he was really good. And then still atop the mountain, but not as much of a gap as before. Everybody's All-American, Matthew Stafford. What, KW? You're making weird sounds.
I go last.
You guys go extra long, so sometimes when you guys go extra long, Dustin tells him we don't have time for your thing. Go ahead.
Got you. Well, I'll go fast. I'm going to lock in with Jordan Love. And I understand the rules of the mountain when a quarterback has not been on or been on the injured list off the mountain in Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. He deserves to get back to his kind of rightful positioning. This is just hard for me to optically look at Jordan Love coming off the game and having the season that he's having be lower than Joe Burrow beating the Ravens team that we don't really believe in. But when you look at Jordan Love and what he's been able to do, we love to hate him. And I say this because we love him when he's great and we praise him when he's great. But the moment he makes a simple mistake or a mistake that we feel like this is what's going to cost him in the postseason, this is what he can't do, we really knock him for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but when we compare him to all these other quarterbacks that we do have above him, not all of them, but a few, and we can show it, like his numbers, they're not necessarily better, but he is just as good. When you look at, obviously Stafford has been doing what he's doing, but Jordan Love's numbers compared to Drake Maye, obviously Dak, who are all above him atop this mountain. And I'm not saying that Jordan Love should be in front of them, but we got to start giving him the credit that he is deserving and has earned because he has been consistent. He hasn't been the turnover-prone Jordan Love that we are so afraid of and the Packers are afraid of moving forward in the postseason. And so when I watch Jordan Love, what he was able to do in Detroit on Thanksgiving in a moment where if the Packers lost, we would have had huge concerns, especially with the way they performed against the Minnesota Vikings and Jordan Love specifically, we would have really knocked him. And I loved how he showed up and he balled out. We got to start giving him a little more credit. I think Jordan Love deserves to be above Joe Burrow, understanding.
How about just flipping with Josh Allen?
You can flip him with Josh Allen. That's fine.
The Burrow thing is tough. Yeah. As you were saying, I can't put up the resume this year. They are KW like this. 3-0 in games he starts.
That's pretty
They're
good.
undefeated. But his number, even in that game, they scored a bunch of points. His numbers weren't exceptional, but it just felt like he gave the team juice. Then they all shared food afterwards. I thought it was quite touching.
Oh, yeah.
So I get it. And you are right. I do have a apprehension about Jordan Love that maybe his season this year is not warranted. All right, Brou, go ahead.
That was good, Greg. Say it with me. J-O, from J-Lo to J-O.
Oh.
J-O.
Why is that better than J-Lo, like, excited? Why?
Because it's J-O. Like after a nice dunk or pass or catch. Oh.
You ever seen the dunk contest?
Yeah.
It was like, oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't know that's what he was doing, but now I get it. Okay, cool.
I said I was going to talk about this guy earlier. I get it. Maybe, Greg, it's different reasoning, but it's kind of similar Jared Goff. Like, we just watched Jared Goff. You watch the Lions play, and you love, Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery and the receivers, and there's all Dan Campbell, everything, Aiden Hutchinson. And Goff just kind of goes about his business, moving the third highest scoring offense in the world down the field. All he does is throw for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns just about every game. Nothing crazy great, but
that's really
solid.
Yeah.
That's basically what he does. So I am switching Goff and Baker.
Oh, shocker.
I'm switching Goff. And just first of all, look at Goff's rankings. Look at Goff's rankings in the league. This dude is essentially top 6 in everything. Everything. All right. Now let's compare him to Baker. Baker's not having like a fantastic year, certainly not like last season, but Goff's got him lapped in everything. Everything. So I know Baker got back on the winning track, and that was good for them. They clearly needed that win. Carolina's breathing down their throats. But Jared Goff, I think, needs to move. I'm not saying it because his numbers by today, this year's group, should be on the top 5 ballot for MVP. I don't think he's playing that well when you watch the games, but his numbers are very,
numbers
very
are great. So here's, in that exact comp, Baker and Goff, here's what I would say. It feels like Baker this year has been the reason the Bucs have been able to overcome their injuries, which were all over the offensive line start the year, then running back, still don't have Mike Williams. And it feels to me when I'm watching the Lions that they are often trying to overcome the limitations Goff puts on the offense. I know the numbers have been great, but to your point, it feels like with all those explosive weapons and the fact that they know that there is a certain way in which he can function at an elite level, and then that's the only way he's going to function at an elite level, that it puts little handcuffs on him. And so that maybe that, because the numbers are the numbers.
Handcuffs?
No,
he said little handcuffs.
But I didn't.
That was just a slip.
I mean, again,
just saying.
his wrists are normal size.
That's just funny. Did you see?
I didn't even,
little
Freudian
handcuffs.
slip, I suppose. Go ahead, KW.
You know what our strategic advantage is as a show?
You, buddy.
No, not me.
You know you wanted to hear.
No, I
That's why you threw it out there.
Like right now, if you're watching this program, you could watch any movie made pretty much in the history of mankind. Everything's available at all times. Mm-hmm. Any show, any episode, you can find it. Mm-hmm. Our strategic advantage that can't be replicated is the fact that we're live. It's a live show.
It doesn't mean that what happened last night.
So, because we're live, things always got to change. Otherwise, we got to be out here like, Paul Thomas Anderson doing great stuff. We're not. We're doing a graphic that has Jacoby Brissett as Ryan Tannehill, okay? But we're live. Yeah. So we have to be able to react on the fly. It's live. So when something happens, like, I don't know, this week's football games and one that was last night, and one quarterback lost the game, not by himself, but the lion's share, and the other quarterback was so great it was just kind of boring. Yeah. I think that should weigh into the rich tapestry.
It did. Drake Maye moved up.
You can't be at the top of the mountain after a horrible game. There's precedent for that. He had 3 turnovers. He had a pick. I think he may have back-to-back interceptions. One was a pick 6. He lost. We won by 18 points. Completion percent. I mean, obvious. He played great when he did not.
But it's not
against the Panthers. It's got to be live. We have to. Otherwise, what are we going to have one of those things like cut, one of those clapboards? We can't do that, man. It's just 4 of us. There's like 9 people here. What do you want to start doing? Doing Goodfellas? It's not going to work. Here's this season. You want to say, oh, he's got more touchdowns. What else? Just give me something else.
The rating's the same. The fewer interceptions also.
Okay.
More touchdowns, fewer interceptions is a decent place to
start. Well, he's tracking for more after 2 yesterday, on Sunday.
And
here's my other argument.
Okay.
If you want to give him the MVP, I'm fine. He does not belong on the top of the mountain because the mountain has to be live. This is more of an MVP argument. I backed myself into the corner. We were 4-13 last year.
Yeah.
We were bad. The Rams were 10-7. The Rams won a playoff game. Then the Rams added Devontae Adams, and Matthew Stafford, who was good last year, has been good his whole career, got even a little bit better.
That's not most improved player, buddy.
Then what is it?
Baby.
You call me baby?
That's why the show works. But that's an argument.
Sweetheart.
That's an argument for Mike Vrabel or Josh McDaniel more than it. No, because you're saying the team took this huge jump.
Because Drake
and
took
the Rams. But again, it's not most. If you're arguing for most improved player or biggest offseason coaching acquisition or coach of the year, that's fine.
Win them all.
I believe Matt Stafford is having the best year. I also think that going into this week, it was not that close. After this week, I think it has become close because Drake had an exceptional game. Was his career high in yards? Has to be close to. He's never thrown 300 yards since he was in college.
He's always kicking around 280.
Right. And Stafford had arguably his worst game of the year. So that's now close.
Can't be.
But again,
worst game of the year, you can't be on top of the mountain.
But that's
just the rules.
Okay, I got to tell you something.
It's the rules.
You set the rules of a lot, probably more than you should about this show.
This is the rules.
Why
are all these guys moving up and down?
Here's one area you don't set the rules.
They all move up and down based on the rules.
Yeah. And if Stafford has another bad game.
He needs 2 bad games.
Yes.
He needs 6 turnovers in 2 games.
He had 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the season. He was on the longest streak, correct?
Yeah.
In the history of the league.
And then he cracked under pressure.
Okay, under pressure.
He broke the record, and you know what? He's like, let me give this one to the Panthers.
That's the opposite of cracking under pressure. That would have been right before he did it.
In any event, Alexi Lalas is coming up next. We're going to talk about the World Cup draw. Yeah. What's the best case scenario for the USA? What's the worst case scenario?
And this odd wrinkle that people got to be ready for.
Oh, we also have an odd wrinkle.
Yeah.
What's going on? I'm Arch Manning, Viore athlete and college quarterback. Whether I'm running, training, traveling, or just unwinding at home, I love doing it in my core shorts from Viore. With a breathable boxer brief liner, they're quick to dry, super versatile, and stand up to even my most intense training sessions. Plus, they come in 3 inseams and a ton of colors. Ready to try a pair? Go to viore.com/arch and get 20% off at checkout. I think you're going to love them as much as I do. That's viore.com/ARCH and get 20% off your first order. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Have a great day.
Great week to be a soccer fan. Friday, FIFA World Cup final draw at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Fox. Then on Saturday, Messi and Inter Miami square off against Vancouver for the MLS Cup at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Also on Fox, so a whole lot of soccer Friday and Saturday. Here to break it all down is our friend Alexi Lalas. Last time you saw Alexi, he was sweating bullets in Miami. So
God, that was insane.
Time. Put on the AC here, and it's December, so it's a nice combination.
This is great. You guys got a good gig.
Well, welcome. All right, Friday. Yes. What's our absolute best case scenario for who we draw?
All right, so first off, so just so everybody understands, biggest World Cup in history, 48 teams, 104 games, obviously with our friends up north, Canada, and our friends down south, Mexico. The draw is where, there are little balls and bulls, and they draw it out, and they put the teams into the different groups. Because we know the U.S. is in it, we know these teams are in it, we don't know who's playing. So you have different pots. It's arranged on how good you are. And yeah, there is going to be a group of death. There are teams, for example, in pot 2. The U.S. is in pot A because they're a host. Teams in pot 2, teams like Croatia and Morocco that, I wouldn't want to get. But you can waste time thinking about that. We're going to get a good group, all right? We're going to get a group where you say, you know what? We should come out of this group, which is nothing that we haven't done before. We should even win this group, which is something we certainly have done before. And this team, historically, has played up to the opponent. So you get into some tricky areas where you just say, well, let's have the easiest group. Not so simple when it comes to the World Cup.
Oh.
Okay.
I heard you screaming and yelling about something. What's the problem?
Well, so here's my concern. So if people, I want to explain it a little bit further than you did if people don't know as far as, so 48 in the group stage, 32 this year advance to knockout round. So if you finish first or second in your group, you're automatically in, and then the 8 best third place teams also advance.
Yes.
So it would be a disaster to not advance the round of 32, the knockout stage. But it matters where you advance, and if you're first in your group, you have a better draw. The way the pots work is, pot 1 is supposed to be basically the 12 best teams, but it's not quite because the U.S., Canada, and Mexico automatically are in it. So we get grandfathered in. So that's already an advantage.
Yep.
Pot 2 is then the next group. Pot 3 is the next group. Pot 4 is my concern here, Alexi.
Yes. A lot of people are concerned with pot 4.
So here is the problem. So pot 4, you're going to see, wait, that's not 12 teams. So 6 groups are going to get these teams that are ranked somewhere between 60th and 160th in the world. Should be easy wins, in theory.
Yep. But I'm a Curacao guy.
But I understand we're in for, of course. But here is the problem. There are going to be 6 other teams that we won't know until March.
Right.
That are in pot 4. That includes Italy. Hey, heard of them? They're pretty good. That includes Denmark. That includes Ukraine, Poland, Sweden, Wales, all really good teams. So if you're one of these teams that draw, where you're supposed to have your easiest game, you draw Italy. So if on Friday when they draw, if it's like, oh, it's a mystery, you're getting one of these guys, that's not good.
Yes, it potentially could
that's
not
be good.
That's not good.
I want
right.
So
Cape Verde.
Do you get a mystery? It's like
because
TBD?
we won't know. Yeah,
it's a
TBD
placeholder
because in March there's this tournament to figure out the final 6 qualifiers. So we just want in pot 4 to have a flag for our group, right? We just want to be one of those 6 teams, not Turkey A.
Yeah, I mean, look, we want the easiest group, all right? I understand that. But I don't care. You don't care? Just give me 3 teams. Just give me 3
I'd
teams.
rather play Curacao than Italy.
Yes, that much
I'll tell you that much.
Best laid plans and all. Till Curacao kicks your ass.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
you're confident in us.
Okay.
I am more confident than I was even a couple of months ago.
When we were in Miami.
Exactly. Mauricio Pochettino, I think he has, if there is a method to the madness for Pochettino, who is the coach of the U.S. team, I'm starting to see it more. But let's be honest. All that really matters is when that whistle blows next summer. So to your point, yes, getting a good group is important. This Friday, the camera's going to pan around, and there will be coaches that are sitting there with a scowl and a disappointment because they say, "Oh my God, this is a very difficult group."
Yeah,
there will be
I don't
other
want
ones that look like they
Erling
eat the
Haaland and
Yes,
Norway
exactly.
in our group. That doesn't sound fun.
I want Norway.
You want Norway?
You want Norway.
No,
Yeah,
they're
I
the
want
best
Norway.
team in pot 3. Know
I
your
want
pots,
Norway. No, because I
KW.
want stars. I want to play stars.
Yeah, in the knockout round.
Right.
No, I want Holland right away. Erling Holland.
Okay.
Also Holland.
Let me ask you this. Let's get to some of our guys. Christian Pulisic been playing great, but now he's got the thigh injury. Is this any cause for concern?
He has had a history of injuries over the years, but I think he's also grown into his body when he first burst on the scene. I mean, he was a teenager, and so he's figured out how his body works. I would have liked to have seen him more over the last couple of years, but some of these injuries have kept him out. All I care about is that he is healthy next summer. He is arguably the best player in Serie A over in Italy right now. That's how great he is, and I think he's also made that interesting transition from being, a good American player to a great player who just happens to be American.
Right.
And you don't think, like, when we were in Miami, he wasn't at those.
Yeah.
They were friendlies or qualifiers?
Gold Cup.
Gold Cup.
The Gold, it wasn't at the Gold Cup. We had already.
We're auto in.
Auto in, so it was kind of strange. There's no hangover, resentment still there. That was like a lot of drama.
I could grumpy old man it for a little bit, and I probably will. I didn't like it, but, if he's healthy, he's going to start. He is a star. He does step up for the national team, and we're going to need him to be that star next summer and to lead this team. Not lead it in terms of his leadership, because he's a very reluctant type of leader, but lead it in terms of his play, the players that he beats, obviously the goals that he scores.
And also, kind of deep down, you think you taking these little shots might chip on his shoulder, get the best out of him. That's my theory.
Yeah, well,
I actually believe.
I just came from Mauricio Pochettino speaking across town, and he really kind of summed up his philosophy, which is, I don't care where you play. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care who you're married to. I don't care, anything about your, I don't care what your contract is. I care that when you put that shirt on, you care about the country that you are playing for. In this case, I feel it's the greatest country in the world. And he has instilled that and that type of ruthlessness and competition within players to represent your country.
So since we last talked to you, they've gone on this 5-game winning streak. Yep. What are your couple biggest takeaways from that for people that weren't necessarily locked in, things that actually mattered for the team that we're going to see?
So I think the most interesting thing that's happened is, yes, you have your usual suspects. We talked about Christian Pulisic and guys that were at the last World Cup. But Mauricio Pochettino is going to bring a bunch of players that were not at the last World Cup. His starting goalkeeper, Matt Freese. All right. This is a guy who I think he might even be the first Harvard man to ever play in a World Cup if this happens next summer. But he has taken the position. Guys like Sebastian Berhalter, who plays up in Vancouver. You mentioned MLS Cup. He'll be playing an MLS Cup on Saturday, and I'll be down in Miami too for that MLS Cup against Inter Miami. Guys like Christian Roldan, who plays up in Seattle. Diego Luna, who plays in Salt Lake. All these guys, they're gonna make the team, and they are gonna get on the field, and they might use it as this opportunity to embrace the World Cup and kind of create their own stardom.
So we got 4 friendlies left.
Yep.
What are you looking to see, and learn about our team in those 4?
So there's 2 games in March and then 2 games right before the World Cup. The 2 games in March I think are the most important because the 2 games right before the World Cup, people are just kind of jockeying for position and they don't want to get hurt, and it's right before the World Cup. I'm not saying they're not important, but it's very limited opportunity to see this team. I'm not saying that Pochettino has decided everything, but that March window I think is huge. You will not see anybody opting out of the March window, especially if you were on the bubble of making the team. You're going to be there, even if you have to play through an injury, to prove to Pochettino that you deserve to be there. So that's going to be really fun to see that competition within that competition.
How big does, for lack of a better term, home field advantage matter in this tournament?
There is a magic. Look, there's nothing better than a World Cup except a home World Cup, and there is a magic from a home World Cup. I'm sitting here today with you guys because of a home World Cup back in 1994, and there's a Brigadoonish element where this beautiful mist descends, and it can raise people up that you didn't expect to raise up. It can raise teams up, and what I'm hoping is that they find some of that magic, and they do things that we haven't seen before. But you should expect this U.S. team to do good things. You should expect this U.S. team to do well on the group stage, to get out of the group stage. You mentioned the new round of 32 in terms of knockout rounds, to get through a round of 32, and then get into that rarefied air of 16 and beyond. And hopefully, if that happens, the U.S. kind of embraces this team, and in doing so embraces the country and comes together and celebrates through the World Cup this team and this sport.
Can I ask you a kind of an odd question? Because I think, like, in American sports, like, we're all here, a lot of this show is like, he wants the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I want the to win the Super Bowl. At the same time, for USA Soccer, I feel like there'd be a level of happiness I would get without winning the whole thing.
Right.
What is considered success? What is considered a disappointment? And obviously, we want to win, but where does success? Where do we feel like
What's
we're
the
in
threshold?
the money?
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's like a poker thing when you're in the money.
In the money, right? Yeah, exactly. It's all gravy from. What was it? Years ago, when the Supreme Court tried to define obscenity, like they said, I can't tell you what it is, but I know it when I see it. I'm going to know what success is, and you all will too, when you see it, and you will feel it, and you will. It will be a tingly type of sense in what you're seeing. And yes, it has to do with the score, certainly, but it goes beyond the score when you're watching this team. And if you feel that they are representing the team with pride, and you appreciate the work that's going into what's happening, and obviously the scoreboard, that's success. But I can't tell you, obviously, if the U.S. gets to a semifinal at a home World Cup after what we have, I mean, we're in this is in heaven.
They should expect to get to the round of 16.
Yes.
That's playing to your seed. They're the 14th team in the world. They should expect to get to the round of 16. Losing before that is like you said, we're the
14th team in the world. It's not like we're this backwater type of soccer country.
But getting past that would be getting to the final 8 would be match the greatest performance in the history of the country in reality.
And in the 16, we're going to come up against a team that people say is better than us and might be better than us. So you're going to have to rise to the occasion and do something that everybody can recognize, whether they're into soccer or not. That's something cool. That's something special. That makes me proud to be an American watching that team.
When you mentioned the round of 16, I was going to ask, because we're ranked 14th, as you said, in FIFA. Is that so you think that's a good, accurate ranking? I was going to ask you, is that too high? Is that too low? Is that right about where we are?
I think that is a fair ranking for this U.S. team. We've been more, and FIFA rankings are obviously there's a little bit of subjective, and what happens with FIFA rankings is if you're ranked really, really high, rankings are so important and are incredibly credible. If they're not, it's like they're just throwing it together. Nobody knows what's going on. But this is a team, like I said, that you should expect good things from.
All right, switch gears to a game this weekend. MLS Cup this Saturday on Fox, Inter Miami versus Vancouver. Do you expect Messi to have a superstar performance here?
I mean, look, you guys talk about stars all the time, and so what are the characteristics of stars? Stars, when everybody is watching and expecting you to do magical stuff, and that's what you do. And this guy, on a consistent basis, goes out there, and it's not just the goals, it's the passing, it's the impact that he has on the game. When everybody is sitting there and saying, you're arguably the greatest player ever to play the game. Do something magical. Boom. And he does something magical, which is why Inter Miami has, and I love what Jorge Mas and David Beckham have created down there. The aesthetic, love the pink part of it, pretty in pink. But more importantly, they've created a super club, a villain. There will be people that tune in on Saturday to watch MLS Cup, specifically to see Inter Miami with Messi go down, because it's big, it's sexy, they spend a lot of money, and you want to do that. Cowboys, Yankees, Lakers, all these different types of teams. Leagues need that. They need a villain. And Inter Miami, for a lot of people, are the villain. But Vancouver, I'm telling you right now, is a really, really good team. So Messi and company are going to have their hands full on Saturday down in Miami.
Excellent. Saturday, 2:30 on Fox. Alexi, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. The World Cup continues. We'll keep checking in. After the break, the Patriots. Speaking of dynasties, speaking of villains, Alexi.
Are people all mad that the Patriots are good again?
Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do. Do your work with ease and speed. PDF Spaces is all you need. Do hours of research in an instant with key insights from an AI assistant. Pick a template with a click. Now your prezzo looks super slick. Close that deal? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
Saturday, this is huge. Fox is just loaded up with huge events and games.
Huge.
Number 2, Indiana. Number 1, Ohio State. This also might decide the Heisman Trophy, decides the Big Ten, little national championship preview. Just amazing. Saturday, 6:30, only on Fox. Welcome back to First Things First.
It will definitely decide the number 1 overall seed in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Definitively.
Unless it's like 0-0.
I think still.
Really? What if it was 3-0?
I think still.
Afternoon headlines brought to you by Hilton. Hilton, it's for the stay. Patriots crushed the Giants. Patriots QB was throwing darts through the air. Patriots defense throwing dart through the air. Here's a picture of the playoff picture. We're number 1. We're 11-2.
So,
what? You have an issue with that? I'm just reading the graphic.
No, I jumped your question. So go ahead.
Are we number 1?
No, that's not the question.
Or are we the team to beat in the AFC?
Not to me. Even though I have said throughout the year that I think you guys are the second best team in the conference to a team that I had best that right now is in the 10th spot. You know what I mean? So and I'm not going to say I have the Chiefs ahead of you because the Chiefs haven't played like it. Team to beat is different for me than the team that either has the best record or, to me, the team to beat right now in the AFC and the team that has far and away the most pressure to actually break through and should do it is Buffalo. And I have been from preseason to right now very complimentary of New England, and I believe in them because I believe in Vrabel and believe in the quarterback, and that to me is 80% of it. But I just, as a rule of thumb, aside from the year I picked Caleb to go to the Super Bowl as a rookie, typically I'm going to say, yeah, I'm not going to trust the team that's never been in the playoffs, the quarterback that's never been in the playoffs, to make it all the way to the Super Bowl their first year. And Buffalo, I think Buffalo and New England are closer than you think. And so here's their resumes, not their statistical resumes side by side. We'll do offense and then defense. And what you'll see is Buffalo has I think it's fair to say, slightly better offense. Not by a lot, but I mean more yards, more points. And doesn't have any weakness on offense, while the Patriots, oddly, have not been very good running the ball. And this is, I think, works against the Pats a bit. Then defensively, the Patriots have the better defense, with the Bills having one glaring weakness, but it also happens to be the one thing the Patriots offense isn't great at. And so, like, I know it's weird with a Mike Vrabel coached Patriot team from what we've seen, but if I have the opportunity, can I have the best pass defense and the worst run defense or vice versa? If I'm trying to beat the Patriots, I'd rather have a good pass defense. And because that's where their strength has been, you think they have the MVP at quarterback. So just like if the Broncos win this week when the Patriots are off and they are the 1 seed, I won't, because they would be, I won't call them the team to beat. So no, I don't think they.
I get what you're saying. If the Chiefs are out and, Buffalo, because of Josh Allen, because they've been knocking on the door all these years, people would feel that way. And if the Ravens got it going and like they ended the season on a nice run, I think they would be similar because of Lamar and their history as well. But here's where I think it shifts, Nick. If the Patriots beat the Bills again, they played this week, right?
After the bye.
If the Patriots beat the Bills again, sweep them this regular season, I kind of think that changes. If the Chiefs are out and the Patriots will have swept the Bills and get the number 1 seed, and maybe they're 14-3, 15-2, I think they would be viewed as the team to beat. Now, if Buffalo beats them, then I think it kind of goes back to
if Buffalo beats them, even if New England still wins the division.
I think people will fit just because of Allen's pedigree.
The Patriots are the team to beat in the AFC.
Reagan,
It's really simple. Like, you put those numbers up, and I look at it from a player's perspective of there is no sense of fear of the big brother anymore. There's no, we can't beat that team in Buffalo because we've done that. And so Buffalo has the most pressure because we have expectation if the team in red, if the Chiefs don't make it, then it's like Buffalo. If you're not going to do it this year, then you're never going to get it done. However, when you look at those numbers that you put up, they are just such a well-balanced diet. I'm talking about across the offensively, defensively, offensive pass game, run game. Like when you look at how he disperses the ball. Yeah. Like Josh McDaniels has done a terrific job of just saying, look, we may not have a number one. We have a guy that everybody knows in Stephon Diggs, but Hunter Henry, obviously Kayshon Boutte, all these guys, Ramondre Stevenson, Austin Hooper, everybody is a part of what we're doing and why we're successful. So you can't lock in on us. We're going to run the ball. We may not run the ball as good as the Buffalo Bills, but we're going to still stick to our game plan, and we're going to play solid defense. And that means situational football. Third down, they're great. Red zone, they're great. Like, they don't give up touchdowns. Like, this is a well-rounded, nutritious meal. And if you got to go in there, you're going to eat whatever they put on the plate.
And Henderson is obviously a breakaway threat, too, in the run game.
No number one wide receiver, great quarterback, solid coaching, not beating yourself, good defense, and run the ball. What does that remind you of? Patriots football a little bit?
A little bit.
Back in the dynasty?
No, that's true.
Question for you, Greg, that's been floating around my brain that I think is strange, but I want your take on it. Have the bye, Bills at home, hat and shirt game that we can just clinch, which is shocking early. And then the Ravens. I kind of want to lose one of these games just to get sort of any flaws exposed. And I feel like we have been beaten up on tomato cans. All the shots about it's an easy schedule, not totally wrong. It was 17-0 in the end of the first. Like, I liked it. Did feel like practice when they didn't go for that 4th and 1. Like, oh, good, let's do a little hurry up and get a field goal. But I do want to have like a stress test before the playoffs. Is it strange that I want these games to be tougher than or even lose? I know it sounds crazy, but I wouldn't hate it.
I think being tough and having to grind out some of these games, the Buffalo game, the Baltimore game, because these are teams that you might have to face in the postseason, that will give you kind of an idea of, in a feel of, this is what playoff football is going to be like. This is the closest thing we're going to get from a young group, young quarterback-led team, going into the postseason with no experience. And so, yes, I understand the idea of having those stress games, but I just think they're better than these teams. I just think they're better than these teams, and it's top to bottom.
Can I? Oh, we got to.
You can talk to me at ping pong.
Is there, in a week, is there any chance you think the Broncos are the team to beat?
I don't believe in Bo Nix, but I believe in the defense. Live from New York, it's a show that is worried about being too competitive while we play ping pong tonight.
Just you. Just you, man. You're the only person on the staff that last year had a tear in your eye and said you're going to break up the show because I beat you in bowling.
There's certain etiquette to bowling.
I can betray another confidence too.
Yeah.
Wiles today said, remember, there's no such thing as a work party. It's just work.
Well, I'm just saying.
I was like, you were worried Danny was just going to get hammered?
No. I'm like, yeah. This is pushing me down and stuff.
I'm like,
I don't want to get pushed down.
I'm planning to play. My work.
I am going to be my professional self. I'll be like, oh, good shot in ping pong.
That'll be a good departure
You want
from
everyone to
last
stay
year.
in their work persona.
No, I'm just going to be like, hey, great job playing ping pong. Oh, that was fun. I'm not going to be like, wah.
So is this pre-excuses for if you don't play well?
I'm just saying,
yes.
I've got a ping pong table at my house. I play all the time, but I'm letting people win. First things first, overtime today. Ridiculous. It's another episode of Top 10 Tuesday. Do the Chiefs actually deserve a top spot? Danny wrestles with this.
I saw the rough draft of Top 10 Tuesday.
Perfect list.
Not great. So I hope there's been a lot of adjustments.
They've been controversial. Meanwhile, can the Cowboys make a run to the playoffs? Dak is feeling confident as they take on the Lions this Thursday. But right now, we're talking about the Patriots. Drake Maye, 282, 2 touchdowns, 10th straight win, first place in the AFC. Here he is after the game. Take a listen.
Just trying to be the face, trying to be the conductor. He calls it the conductor of the offense. You're trying to be the face of the offense, trying to you want the pressure. You want to the ball in my hands, and I've tried to show that all year and throughout my career. So that's what I kind of feel like, and know they feed off of me and feed off my energy and feed off of what I say to those guys and what I say mean something to them.
Injected into my veins. MVP odds, there was a flip-flop from Maye and Stafford. Drake Maye now the favorite. Stafford, Dak. J-Lo didn't make Brou's ballot. That's interesting, bro.
Look
But
at
those,
J-Lo.
those odds say this is a two-man race.
Yes.
Correct.
And one player just played out of his mind, and the other guy had 3 turnovers. Danny, do you think the MVP is Drake Maye's to lose?
No, I don't. I think those odds flipping like that is maybe instructive on what we should be paying attention going forward. Like, this is a vote that is shaped largely by narratives voted on by 50 humans, right? And so, like, the things that shape narratives, national television games have an outweighed importance in that.
That's true.
And so Drake Maye balled out on national TV, and he was awesome. Like my eye test, I didn't need to see the box score. I didn't need to, it was just, he looks like an NFL star. He looks like an MVP. These throws are great. Probably 25 teams around the league at least are just jealous that guy isn't on their team. But the rest of the way, you guys have no more national TV games. You have big games that we'll talk about. Like, we'll talk Pats, Bills, we'll talk Pats, Ravens, but 1 p.m. Eastern games. The Rams have 3. They've got 3 more national TV windows. They got the Falcons on Monday night. They've got...
Ooh, that's great for Stafford.
Yeah. They've got Rams Seahawks, the rematch.
That might hurt Stafford. Like that can work in both directions.
Right, exactly. If he plays great, it's, oh my God, he did that on national TV against the top 3 defense on Thursday night, the rematch of that great game from a couple of weeks ago. And then they've got the America's Game of the Week, the 4:25 game on Fox against the Lions in a couple of weeks. So there's 3 more basically standalone windows for Stafford, I think, to win or lose it. And then the last thing, just based on the narrative, I do think Ty is going to go to the veteran.
You do?
I do. Like, even though it feels like Maye is doing more with less, which would put the emphasis on value, 37-year-old guy, he's won a Super Bowl, we've known him for forever. It's like the last thing in his career that he doesn't have. I could see veteran sports writers kind of crowning Matt Stafford with an MVP.
Yeah, that's happened. Look, I'm an NBA voter for MVP. Sometimes that happens. A guy's had a great career, hadn't won an MVP, and that's fair. And the other stuff about the national TV games stuff you said was fair as well. I still, though, think Stafford should be the MVP right now. If it ended right now, there's a lot of games left, and Maye could pass him because he closed the gap yesterday. But I said earlier, Danny, Stafford has played 1 fewer game than Drake Maye and has 9 more passing touchdowns. So I think he clearly on the field, I get it that Maye's statistics in other areas are better, but on the field, to me, it's clearly Stafford right now. Now, I do think what you said, the argument for Drake is he does not have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
No doubt.
Or even Kyron Williams as his running back. Nor does, obviously Josh McDaniels is a great play caller, so I won't go with the coaching with McVay. But his players are a lot less as far as the weapons than they have in Los Angeles. So I think that's a factor. Then last year, winning 4 games and bringing that team all the way back that nobody, I know you guys picked them to make the playoffs, but nobody really foresaw this coming. And he's with his head coach for the first time. Like we always talk about switching coordinators, switching coaches, how that affects players. A lot of people, obviously it didn't go well under Jerod Mayo last year, but a lot of people hate to see the quarterback in his second year switch head coaches. I know it's working out in Chicago too. But all of those things are check marks in on Drake's side. But I think on the field it's been Stafford.
What's your case that Drake Maye's been better?
My case that Drake Maye has been better is probably the improvement that we saw in Drake Maye. And I know that's sort of like it's not the most improved, but Stafford has been doing this. And now he's doing it like a little bit better. It's great. And maybe that doing it a little bit better is now he throws the ball to Devontae Adams, over a dozen times in the red zone, these little 5-yard unstoppable routes that McVay designs. I do think narratively that the odds have shown that the numbers might not really matter. If he has more touchdowns and Drake Maye has a better completion percentage, just no one really cares about, then it's like, all right, your touchdowns don't really matter. We're leaning towards Drake Maye.
Some of the analytics actually do favor Maye. Like the EPA per dropback stuff, that actually is.
But it's just like raw touchdown.
Can we show their season-long numbers? Because here's what it is.
May's got him beat most.
But so it is. But if you look, this is not what I was
current
talking
playoff
about.
team.
This is, but we could show this too. This is fine. Because this is where I will bring up the strength of schedule, and this is where I think it is fair. Just like I think it is totally fair to say, hey, one guy's doing it with Diggs off an ACL, and if we could go back to that graphic for a second, I think it's totally fair to say Diggs is doing it off an ACL, and Booty is, a revelation, while the other guys has Puka and Devontae. That's a totally fair mark for Maye. A fair mark for Stafford is they have played the second most games against current playoff teams.
That's pretty
good.
good.
The Patriots have played the second fewest games against current playoff teams. And against current playoff teams, and now obviously not all of them have great defenses, but he is cooked. 23 touchdowns, 1 pick. And Drake, while those numbers are not bad, and the team is 2-0, his passer rating for the year is what, 111?
Yep.
So, so that to me is, when we're parsing it, that is a more fair thing to bring up as not an indictment, but as a mark for Stafford over Maye than it is about an indictment on the Patriots being not a real 11-2 or whatever it is. Because you play who's on your schedule and you don't have to apologize for it. But the MVP is a subjective award where I think it is totally fair to bring in the soft points of, like you're saying, improvement, preseason expectation, how hard the path has been, and Stafford carving up the toughest division in football. And go ahead.
No, if I was to ask you, I was like, as quickly, as efficiently as possible, tell me why the Rams are having a great season.
I would say Stafford's having the best year of his career.
Okay.
That's honestly, I honestly do believe that. I don't think this is a small jump for Stafford. I think Stafford's been to what, like you always talk about, 2 Pro Bowls. Stafford has never, ever had a season where people were like, you know what? This year he is the best quarterback in the NFL. And I think for the majority of this season, he's been the best quarterback in the league.
I thought you were going to start like, well, look, it's Stafford, and then we team with McVay, and Puka's made a huge leap, and Devontae's having it, and the defense is top 5. Whereas the Patriots, it's Drake Maye.
No, I don't. But honest to God,
a dash of variable.
No, I think the biggest difference for the Patriots this year is Vrabel. So if they had kept Gerard Mayo,
totally.
I do not think that there is any world where we're talking about Drake Maye as MVP.
That's fair.
I don't know, man. Drake Maye he's awesome. Why I love this MVP debate is last year was fun, but Lamar and Josh were peers. We saw some Brady Rodgers, Brady Manning. This is the 37-year-old against the second-year pro. The idea of Drake Maye winning an MVP this early in his career and what it could possibly be is just exciting for the next crop of quarterbacks.
Yeah. Quickly before we go to Top 10 Tuesday, I also kind of like that Drake Maye doesn't want it. I'm okay with it. I'm just saying he's not pining for it.
Yeah.
So he was asked about in Tampa Bay, there was Patriots fans in Florida, and they were like, wow, what do you think about the MVP chants? He's like, those are probably for Baker. He's having a heck of a year. So he's very on brand. If he doesn't get it, it's not going to kill me. I think it's there's.
Well, you're going to want to walk away. Here's the thing. If people weren't watching, 2 hours and 10 minutes ago, Kevin Wildes talked about the Patriots being in the midst of a dynasty.
I didn't say in the midst.
This is a wild
I didn't say we're in the midst. I said that there's a lot of dynasty
You said made some weird OSHA thing about
It wasn't a
open
weird
fake
OSHA
hands.
thing. It was not a weird OSHA thing. I was not out there at all.
Regardless, this is what I was trying to say to the audience, if I may. Kevin Wildes is already on the multiple championships, including back-to-back for the Patriots, which is requisite for any NFL dynasty. And you are so far out there, you're like, you know what? If he doesn't win MVP this year, it's fine. He'll get plenty more.
He'll get 3 in the next 5.
Yeah, and so I hope you guys walk away as with the Denzel Washington line you like. I'm leaving here with something. I hope you leave here with something, and not just you were the 1 seed on December 2nd.
I'm not saying we are a dynasty. I'm just saying there's a lot of elements that if I hated dynasties, I'd be like, this place stinks.
Out of your mind.
Coming up, it's Tuesday, and it's about 5:12, which means it's time for Top 10 Tuesday. We're looking at a picture of Patrick Mahomes, who sits at 500. But, Danny, you've always been a fan of the Chiefs.
And you also said you would never doubt them.
Well,
you wrote a whole letter.
Top 10 Tuesday.
That was ages ago, Nick. Things change. Welcome to the top 10 for the best defense in the NFL.
I like this.
The Houston Texans. It's just how I feel about you today. And Houston, in a way, kind of the anti-Bears and the anti-Patriots. Look at their schedule. They have only played one team, the Titans, and they played them twice, who would not be in the playoffs today.
Yeah,
10 of their 12 games are against teams that if the playoffs started today would be in the playoffs. They have held those 10 teams to 18.5 points per game.
Wow.
It's the best defense in the NFL. Apologies to the Seahawks.
We'll have 2 games. Once they play the Chiefs, it'll be 2. It'll be the Titans
Yeah,
and the
that's
Chiefs.
right. The Titans and the Chiefs. Lump them together. Going back to number 9, the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick, I've loved your 3 and out graphic for them because it's jarring to see the company they keep. They almost have more 3 and outs this year than scoring drives, which just, if you instead of thinking about it, they have almost as many 3 and outs as field goal drives. It just seems impossible for the talent of the offense, and they just got punked by the Chicago Bears. Maybe they'll be making a debut on Top 10 Tuesday.
Well, they better be.
Well, we'll see.
They're number 1 seed.
I mean, what type of team?
It's not standing.
The number 1
Chiefs
seed.
are going to appear. Maybe the
This
Bears
guy
are
has
going
a
to appear.
framed picture of shirtless Ben Johnson in his office, and maybe the Bears are in the top 8.
I replaced it as the background on my phone.
Yeah.
Who knows? Coming in at number 8, the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
This is shocking.
It'll get there. Yeah, it
That
broke the
is
screen.
shocking.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Now, this is also maybe a little out there. But if the first 13 weeks of the season, we looked at it as the preseason.
Yes.
And then everybody was 0-0.
I sign up for it.
I know you signed up for it. But would it be ridiculous to say that the Cowboys are a team that can win the NFC? They look awesome right now.
Yeah.
The defense is improving. The offense is spectacular.
I like that.
Dak is playing at an MVP level. It's just they've beaten the last 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl the last couple of weeks, in the Chiefs and Eagles. Very impressed with what they're doing. Coming in at number 7, Bru's Packers. That game against the Lions is the idealized version of this team. That's one of the best games I've ever seen from Jordan Love. It was the first game of his career where he had 4 touchdowns and no turnovers, so he eliminated the bad plays and he maximized the big plays. He was killer on 4th down. Their defense is the best in the NFL the last 5 weeks, allowing 15 points per game. That version of the Packers can win the Super Bowl. At number 6, staying right where they were, the Denver Broncos. They're 5-0 when Bo Nix has a passer rating of under 85. That makes no sense. They have 6 wins by 3 points or less, tied for the most in NFL history through 12 games. It doesn't feel like they're as good as they are, but their defense is really good and they keep winning, so they get to hang out in the 6th spot. Coming in at number 5, welcome to Top 10 Tuesday, the Chicago Bears. The motto, Nick, as you know, it's my ringtone.
Don't.
Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better and your better gets best. So let's look at the good for the Chicago Bears if we can. It's pretty good. 8th in scoring, 6th in time sacked after being sacked 68 times last year, 6th in yards, 6th in third down. You would agree, Brou? It's good.
Pretty
6th. Let's look at better. Okay. First, 2nd, 4th. How do you get better? What could the best possibly be? Well, you guys mentioned it earlier. The 1 seed, baby. The playoffs in the NFC goes through Chicago.
Why is
he at a
Why is that the picture?
What do you mean? Because that's what he did to celebrate.
That's the best.
That's the best picture we can find.
That's the best.
It's the best picture we can find.
That's the only thing you're number 1 in?
No, they were number 1 in others.
We were number 1.
Speeches.
Yeah, shirtless speeches. Yeah. And you see the big number 1, it's for number 1 seed.
Yeah, no.
In the
you
NFC.
have that in common with Wilds' team.
Sean
you guys get
McVay's
it?
dying to.
Bring them on.
This is what you got.
That's what we got. That's what we
D'Amico
got.
Ryans, too. He's like, let us get hot.
Dan Campbell, he might have started something he don't want to finish.
Dan Campbell.
Andy Reid.
Any part of my coach. Yeah. Coming in at number 4, my Super Bowl pick from before the year. The Buffalo Bills. Wide open AFC. They get in with Josh Allen. It's going to be tough to pick against them. But let's give some love to James Cook. Oh, they don't have any weapons. He's right behind Jonathan Taylor in terms of yards. Now, he's way back in rush touchdowns, but Josh Allen has 11 rush touchdowns. A little bit of a Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts situation from last year. James Cook has been spectacular this season. So that's how Buffalo can win. Josh Allen and James Cook running the ball. Coming in at number 3, Wilds' Patriots. Drake Maye is ridiculous, and the team is incredible, and yes, the AFC playoffs go through New England. But let's look at the company that Drake Maye is keeping. This is not second-year quarterbacks. 11 or more wins, a passer rating of above 110 in your first 13 games. It's not bad. It's Mahomes, Breeze, Peyton.
Mahomes twice.
Yeah, Mahomes twice, sorry.
You should have just put him on.
Brady and Rodgers. Mahomes says 2 times. Breeze, it says 2 times. Last 20 seasons. Pretty good company for Drake Maye.
Otto Graham territory.
I don't think Otto Graham had a great passer rating.
Otto Graham. I have stats about Otto Graham and Drake. I'm saving them for later.
Guys, save that for regulation, please. Seattle Seahawks come in at number 2, top 10 Tuesday. They are now the only team in the NFL. Top 3 scoring offense, top 3 scoring defense, and they have the best point differential in the NFL. Can't wait for the rematch at number 1. Not going to drop them too much for losing to the Panthers.
Not
Panthers.
drop them at all.
Yeah, not drop them at all. But I mean, the gap we talked about between Stafford and May.
I agree.
I think the gap between the Rams maybe closed a little bit, but the Rams still clearly to me the best team in the NFL. And as always, Brou, a perfect top 10.
Well, not quite.
Okay.
I don't mind you dropping my Ravens out. I thought you had them a little high. They were at 4 last week, right?
Yeah. Lamar does not look good, and they gave up 32
They
points.
deservedly are
That was rough.
eliminated. However, I do have a problem with the Packers not being ahead of the Bears. I think the Packers are better. And you talked a little bit about Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is better than Caleb Williams.
Agreed.
Here are the numbers. The numbers aren't even close.
They're not.
Everything, he's whipping him. And his completion percentage is so low that it matters. Usually it doesn't matter because they're all,
does matter.
That one matters.
That one does matter.
That one matters. Yeah. And so now, to their credit, they do win. I don't want to say despite him because he's improving and he is a big part of it. But right now, Love is better. And then let's look at the defense comparison. You showed some graphics earlier. Obviously, the Packers' defense is far and away better than Chicago. So I got a better quarterback. I got a better defense. I have a better team.
I don't know. We play the games.
Yeah, we're going to find out. You're right.
We're going to find out. But also November 10th, Packers lost to the Eagles. November 28th, Bears blew out the Eagles. Transitive property of the NFL, Bears better than the Eagles.
One last thing to say about that. Because the Packers have beaten the Lions twice. Yeah. What did the Lions do to Chicago? 52 to 21. It was this season.
We don't count week 2.
It wasn't even week 1. 52 to 21.
For the Bears, we don't count week 1 or week 2.
All right, so I have a couple minor issues. One is that you're a liar.
Wow.
You came on this show and did a whole reading a letter. I solemnly swear, like we were in the Boy Scouts, I'll never doubt the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not on the top 10. Fine. I'm shocked, and I thought this is where you were going to go, so this isn't what I built out, that the Niners, just there's nothing new to get respect. Yeah. Hey, all these injuries, multiple quarterbacks, toughest division in football, 9 wins. But you can't get any respect. But that's, again, those are just a moose-bouche before I get to my real concern.
You lead with a liar. I can't imagine this is going.
So sorry. Has Danny's top 10 ever met Danny's title pie? Because I'm a little confused.
Okay.
And I'm going to, because were you impressed? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
By the Broncos this weekend?
No, it didn't look great.
Okay.
Didn't look great.
So on Friday, before the Broncos played, a game that obviously didn't impress you.
Yeah, sure.
We go to old title pie from Friday, and you'll notice Broncos nary a slice. Yeah. Not even a 1%. Not a cranberry sauce, no stuffing, no yams, no nothing.
Yeah.
None of it.
Sure.
And now we go to Top 10 Tuesday.
Yeah.
And they're the 6th best team in football.
Things change.
But he just said, hold on.
Hold on a second, though.
It doesn't make sense, though.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Nick.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you know about television and graphics, but
Yeah.
we can't go down to 1% on title pie. It doesn't show up graphically.
Can I tell you something?
5% was the
By
minimum.
the way, the producers lied to you because I invented title pie and I've given out plenty of 1%
Yeah, but you weren't
slices.
doing cranberry sauce and Brussels sprouts because it wasn't a Thanksgiving plate. It was a pie. Yours was just a pie chart. Mine was a plate. I was allowed to put 8 toppings on there.
You were allowed to put 8.
All right.
Where are the Broncos?
Okay.
They're at 6.
Those are the top teams today. I can't see the Broncos winning a championship, but if the Chiefs get into the playoffs, I could see them winning a championship.
I think Title Pie and Top 10 Tuesday need to have a post-show meeting and hash it out.
Again, the Colts were on Title Pie or the plate or whatever.
Yes, but they lost and looked terrible.
Right, so
you
they're
just
not
said
on
the
list.
Broncos didn't do anything to improve in your mind. But on Friday you had them out, and on Tuesday you have them in.
It's Top 10 Tuesday.
It's Top 10 Tuesday.
That's Title Pie.
Thank you, Wild. Someone gets
Top
it
10
around
Tuesday.
here.
We did it Wednesday.
Calls
It could
me
be
a
different.
liar.
Yeah.
Well, you did lie. I mean, you did an oath. You're like, I'll never doubt the Chiefs.
Were they
which
on
was
Title Pie plate?
There we go.
Yeah.
The Chiefs were there. I believe in you, Chiefs.
There you go. Another episode of Top 10 Tuesday.
That went well.
Coming up next.
Go Bears.
A fun hang. that was a fun hang.
That was a fun hang. That's all we're trying to
Is
do.
that a fun hang or
You know what?
competitive?
That was a legit spin
That was
hang.
a competitive sports event.
How dangerous are the Cowboys?
That was more competitive sports event.
I like competitive sports.
Once you throw liar out there.
Welcome back. We got Willie Colon and Greg Jennings out here. We'll go to Dallas. Cowboys coming off 2 straight wins against the 2 teams we saw in the Super Bowl last year. Not a bad 5-day stretch. They got the Lions coming up Thursday. Dak. Wow, sound effects. Yeah. I like that. Dak was asked about his confidence in his squad ahead of the big game. Take a listen.
We didn't play good ball early, and now we're starting to catch our stride. We're starting to figure out who we are on not just offense but defense and as a team. And it's fun. I can tell you that. I've been on other teams where you started off hot and you're at this time of the year trying to figure out what you've got to do to get back on the horse. And to have the momentum we do right now, the confidence, and not just that, the right guys in the locker room who understand where we are, who understand that this is the most important time of the year, and showing that in just their daily prep and throughout the week is fun.
All right, gentlemen. Let's start with you, Willie.
Yep.
You think the hype around this team right now, too high, too low, or just right?
No, I think the hype is just right. I think because Dak is, 1, playing like an MVP, and 2, they finally have a defense that travels, right? So you're watching Dallas play with a little bit of balance and heart. I think the issue, if there has to be an issue, is this week is a pivotal game. They're going against the Lions team who's hungry, and they understand what they're fighting for. But also on top of that, Dallas looks like a different team on the road. I have a graphic right here that'll show you. Dallas at home is great. Dallas away, shaky. They're 2-4 on the road, and their points drop a little bit. But I think if you talk about the way Dak's been playing as of late, Danny, I got to get you on board. He's in the MVP conversation. He's 12-4 on the road. 12 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the road. So I know you don't want to buy into it.
No, it's not that. I just think the MVP conversation is different. I think I said it in top 10, man. This is a weird thing, and this is just how my brain works, so maybe you guys who actually played the game will tell me that I'm insane. But, if we got to just say everyone is 0-0, and the first 13 weeks were the preseason, and now we'll start here going forward, I think it would be totally reasonable to say the Cowboys are going to win the NFC. But it's just not how it works.
Right.
They dug themselves too deep of a hole. So I think the hype around the resurgence is actually too low. Because I think they're one of the 10 best teams in the NFL right now. I just don't know that it's going to ultimately matter 6 weeks from now, Greg.
Yeah, so I'm with you in terms of what we see moving forward. in terms of the Dallas Cowboys and their ability to win maybe next year. Because I think they might run out of time this year, obviously, because of the way they started. Dak alluded to that. But the hype is just right. This is a team that you better not let get in. If you are any of those teams in the NFC West, you better take care of business. And if you are definitely the Eagles, you need to take care of business. But this is a team, this game that we're going to see and watch Thursday night, it's two teams that are fighting for potentially the same spot. And the Lions, pending if everybody continues to have some semblance of success, the Lions obviously, and they're at home, they just come off a tough loss on Thanksgiving. And you got the Cowboys who they have the most belief out of anybody probably in the National Football League right now outside of New England. And rightfully so, because they feel like, man, we're pretty much a new team we're just hitting our stride. Dak alluded to it. They can protect, they can throw, they can run, they can get after the passer now, they can stop the run. They can do everything that you see great teams do. It just might be that they run out of time.
I also say this, good teams stack wins, but dangerous teams have to go into hostile territory and win. And when you look at this Cowboys team, I feel like they can do that right now, which is, you've been on playoff teams, I playoff teams, and I know what we used to say in Pittsburgh, it's okay what you do at home, but can you step into Baltimore in cold weather and beat Baltimore in Baltimore? Can you step into Green Bay and win a game in Green Bay? If you can't do that, then you're like, okay, you're just a good team. Dangerous teams win these type of games, so this is a must-win for the Cowboys.
So Jerry Jones today on radio said that he thinks their cleaner path to the playoffs might be the division. So they're clearly going to need help.
Yes.
Like they're going to need Philly to collapse. They're going to need Philly to lose some games because I don't know that the NFC is just really good. Yeah. So I'm not sure that they can realistically get in as the wild card. And I just want to be very clear. I think Dak has been a top 3 quarterback in the NFL this year. I just think it's very hard to envision him winning MVP when the Rams and Patriots are going to be the 1 or the 2 seed in their respective conferences.
Right.
It is kind of a team award.
I just wanted you to put him in a conversation. For a while, we would have this conversation. You were just like, not at my table.
And rightfully so because of their record.
I hear you. Listen.
But you could have a late season push, and we're watching it.
You're right. Listen, no one is playing the position much better than him right now. Right? Okay. So, but again, but that doesn't mean for me that he's in the MVP conversation because it's a team award. You mentioned Ravens and Steelers, so let's go to Baltimore ahead of that game this week. The Ravens are coming off, frankly, an embarrassing loss to the Bengals. They're still atop the AFC North, though. They got the Steelers, but it's identical records. Here's John Harbaugh ahead of this game.
It's simply Pittsburgh. We're just focused on Pittsburgh this week. My impression is that that's the team we got to beat this week. And whatever they are, as we're studying them and however we need to attack them, we're going to put the best plan together we can and play the best football we can on Sunday. That's my impression. That's how I think about it.
So here are the odds for the AFC North. Ravens, 2.5 to 1 favorite, 2.5 to 1 long shot, basically almost 3 to 1 long shot for the Steelers. Bengals still got a shot. Obviously, Browns got no shot. I was surprised, given that both of these teams are 6-6, and we can put up their remaining schedule here, that because I think Baltimore is better than Pittsburgh. I do. I think Baltimore's better. But if they're both 6-6, and that's what Pittsburgh has remaining, they obviously have both games against each other, but the non-games against each other, for Pittsburgh, they get Miami at home, at Detroit, and at Cleveland.
Still tough.
Right, okay, you say that's tough.
Yeah.
I assume you would agree, at Cincinnati, home against New England, at Green Bay is tougher.
Done.
Right? Like, Baltimore has the tougher schedule. And the Week 18 game is in Pittsburgh. And we can put up the graphic here. You know, this is a throw out the record books type of matchup. They always play each other tough. No matter who the quarterback, like as since these guys have been the coaches, they score the same number of points, they gain the same number of yards, they force the same number of turnovers, and they win the same number of games. So it seems reasonable to me to think that they're going to split these last 2 games. I think Baltimore's better, but I don't think they should be a 2.5 to 1 favorite to win the AFC North, given that they're both 6-6.
I'm with you, DP. I don't buy it, and we also got to understand this. We watched Joe Burrow jump off the training table and make the Ravens look like junior varsity, right? We watched that. That just happened. We had a whole show about it, right? Joe Burrow's back. On top of that, we also watched how the Steelers responded by losing to Green Bay and coming back the next week and beating the Colts. And so I have faith in my Steelers, because I'm alumni, if you will, that they will respond against the Ravens, that they will show up, and solely because of what Aaron Rodgers have said as of late. Like, listen, this isn't a scheme issue, this is an accountability issue. These are the type of games, if you're a grown man who loves the sport of football, you now step up because your character and will be tested this week against the Ravens. As you just mentioned, this isn't about records, this isn't about history. This is about if you shoot them, you got to shoot them now, because both teams are going to give you all they got, and because they're dead even, this is about who wants it more. And I expect my Steelers to have it.
Yeah, I'm shocked that the Ravens have this advantage, and largely because the Steelers have been here before where they've been forced to win without great quarterback play, without great offensive production. They seem to always find a way because their key ingredient to success has always been defense.
Yes.
Always been defense. Where Baltimore, you look at where and why they're struggling right now, currently, it's because of number 8, Lamar Jackson. They have not been here before.
Yeah, they both have injured quarterbacks who wear number 8.
And we're looking at this Baltimore Ravens team saying, man, the defense is getting better, we think, but they haven't really been playing great offenses. But Lamar Jackson is clearly been worse. And so if we're basing it off of just that type of production and what they're not going to get out of what they're usually very dependent upon getting, then you got to give the edge slightly to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, so I'll say, like I said, I know I'm the gambler here. I made the bet today at nearly 3-1 odds Steelers to win the division. Like, I think the Ravens should be favored because I think the Ravens are better, but it should be a lot closer than those odds
And
suggest.
we also have to note there's a lot of drama around this game, right? Because the middle of the season, especially the beginning and middle of the season, we talked about Harbaugh being in the hot seat. Mike Tomlin's in the hot seat right now. So as much as we want to talk about how this team has to respond, he needs to respond as well. So it's going to be a goodie.
All right, well, so everyone was talking after they played the games. We like to go through with our reaction, a little game of he said, we said. Eagles needing to bounce back in a big way among the topics. Time now for some he said, we said, some of the best sound from the weekend and last night, and of course, our reaction. It is a good-looking group. I agree. First up, Jackson Dart on the big hits he took in last night's loss to the Patriots. Take a listen.
No. Look, like, I understand the question, but this is football. Like, I'm gonna get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. I feel like I've played this way my whole entire life. This shouldn't be like any shocker to anybody if you've followed along with my career. And we're not playing soccer out here. Like, you're gonna get hit, things happen. It's part of the game.
So I'm the soft NARP on the show, the non-athletic regular person. So I'll let you guys go first.
We don't consider you a NARP, DP. That was one person that called you
Boomer
that.
Esiason called me that.
You're a guy.
Thank you very much.
You're a guy.
All right, so Willie, how does that hit your ear?
Well, it felt like he took that question as an attack, and I get it. If you take away his confidence and his swagger, he felt like you're taking away his superpower. But if I was an offensive lineman on his line, I would tell him, this is a we game, not a me game. You know, we have better chances of winning games when you're on the field. If you play dumb, reckless football, then we lose. This isn't about you and what you want to do. This is how you can develop, mature, and stay on the field. You just came off a damn concussion, for Christ's sakes. And on top of that, when you look at, you know, if I was to give him a compass or some type of tape, I would say, hey, man, look at Josh Allen in his first 2 years. He was you. He was reckless all over the place. You know Josh Allen now? He's same quarterback, different dog, different play style, but reliable, and he delivers. And so you can change your game but still be you at the end of the day, and that's what he has to realize. So hopefully he gets it. But I think he took the question personal. That's why he felt like making it.
He did, and this is a young quarterback that understands. He's typically been the best athlete on a lot of the fields that he's played on. That is no longer the case.
And he felt that last night.
That is no longer the case, and it's exactly what you said, Willie. Like, he has to understand, in order for this organization to take the next step, he has to be a part of why we take the next step. And it can't be him watching from the sideline because of taking hits where he could have just stepped out of bounds a yard or two sooner. So he'll get there.
It's a $5 billion franchise, and you're the quarterback. You matter too much. You said off air when, on the interception that Stafford threw and he's trying to make the tackle, it's like, hey, buddy, what are you doing?
Yeah. Run to the sideline.
Get
out the way.
You should. It's hit avoidance, right? This isn't 4th and goal to win the Super Bowl.
Right,
you know what I mean? Time and place. I've seen so many basketball players all I was able to do is I was always able to drive to the rim. Well, yeah, because you were the best athlete, and it was high school.
Correct.
Now you're playing 7-footers who can leap. You got to develop a jump shot. This is the NFL, man. That's just a ridiculous comment, and he will not survive seasons if he keeps playing.
Guarantee the next time he gets that opportunity, he's gonna run out of bounds.
Oh yeah, no
guarantee.
If the coaching gets through to him, now let's hear from friend of the show, personal hero, maybe it's tad overstated, Ben Johnson on their dominance despite the passing game.
There's 5 games left, so we got a long ways to go, and we have not been guaranteed a spot in the tournament yet. We have to earn that right, and the only way you can earn that right is by finding a way to win the next game. Everybody's got a role to play to get this pass game cleaned up. It's not where it needs to be. We're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of it, and none of us are pleased with that right now.
People saw that quote as a shot at Caleb. If you watch the whole thing, he was talking about wide receivers not running to the correct depth and footwork being off and accuracy from the quarterback too. But just to be that is not a direct shot at Caleb. What I love about Ben Johnson is multiple people inside that locker room have told me that he is a truth teller.
He don't lie.
He doesn't lie. But what he said to the press, he has already said to the team, and so he's calling out their passing game because he knows if you can pair a good passing game with that running game, Greg, this team is very dangerous.
Yeah, and what's interesting is it's true. They are winning in spite of, but if you are an organization and you have the opportunity to have this type of success, this is what you want it to look like to give your quarterback a chance to catch up, to give your offensive pass game a chance to catch up. You want to be able to establish yourself and your identity in the trenches, be able to take the stress off your quarterback and your play caller for that matter, and be able to hand the ball off to any running back seemingly that they have in the backfield and be able to get chunk yardage. This is what we saw against the Eagles. They really sent the message to the league, we're winning, and we're not even winning the way that everybody else across the league typically wins, with the passing game, with the quarterback dominating. That is scary because if he catches fire, it could be a completely different ball game for you, Danny, and all the Bears fans out there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they are winning in spite of the passing game, but I'm in love with the Chicago Bears identity because their identity right now is they can run on anybody. It doesn't matter, and they have a defense to carry them. And I love the fact that when you talk about what Ben Johnson's been able to do, he's been able to take some of them bricks off Caleb's shoulders by having a run game and building it around him. And I also like the fact, listen, when Caleb throws 30 plus or more, he's 6-3. So they're not hiding him. They're just saying this is what we do best right now. It's about running the ball and having a defense that can back us up. And if you're Ben Johnson, don't stop. Don't waver, right? Don't start listening to the headlines or feeling like, oh, I have to now kind of, do something to kind of get the media off. No, continue to work, continue to get this offensive line going, and continue to thrive. So I like the Bears. I like where they're at. Don't stop.
Well, he's a really great play caller because he's talked about, some games we'll win with 50 pass attempts, some games we'll win with 50 rush attempts, and this game, the wind was a little bit more than expected. It was a tougher passing condition game than expected. And he said guys were coming back to the sideline talking about how they could feel that the running game was wearing on the other team. And so he just kept calling run plays. And the game before, he literally called 18 consecutive pass plays.
GP.
So he has a great feel for the game and what's working.
You know what broke the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Buffalo Bills? The Buffalo Bills ran the same play 11 times. They had over 100 yards with that one play. It crushes your soul as a defense when you can't stop the run and you know what's coming at you. You're loading the box. You're doing everything possible, and they're running down your throats. And that's what Ben Johnson's about.
It's a good thing, man. I'm telling you, because also, and we're just going to stay here for just a second, if the NFC playoffs does go through Chicago.
Oh, boy.
Cold.
Seen that before. Just saying.
All right,
Didn't
Greg.
bode well for you the last time.
All right,
Just
Greg.
saying.
All right,
I was
Greg.
waiting on that. Teed it up.
All right,
Booyah.
All right,
You
fine.
bumped that one.
You know what? Bears-Packers this week. I already got a steak dinner off him from
You
Bears
do.
Steelers. You can name your price on that game. It'll be fine. We'll do a little wage.
Oh, don't be that guy.
Okay. Well, you won't talk. Cole Kmet's going to come on the show tomorrow.
Nice.
So, yeah, we got the little Bears. See, the Packers, they're a little scared.
Yeah,
They're a little scared to come
talking.
on. They're a little scared to come on.
No talking.
Big celebratory day
play scared.
in Chicago. We'll discuss coming up.
I know you guys are hungry for more, right? Itching. Let me tell you something. The city of Chicago's hungry too.
Oh, that's my coach. And you might be wondering, why did he take his shirt off? And what's he talking about? Chicago's hungry for more. Well, a famed institution in Chicago, the Wiener Circle, name of a hot dog stand on the north side of Chicago, they said that if Ben Johnson takes his shirt off, free hot dogs for the entire city. Well, Ben Johnson took his shirt off, and today, in freezing temperatures in the greatest city of the world, this is a sped up view of the line. Around the block, you'll notice snow on the ground, people in parkas, people doing their good, better, best chants and taking their shirt off for a free $4 hot dog. And I'll be honest, gentlemen, it brought a tear to my eye. I've never been so homesick.
Man, I think it wrapped around the corner.
It keeps going. Second time this year, because Caleb did something to get free hot dogs from the Wiener Circle also. Everyone was like, oh, Danny, you're sad that you're not at the Wiener Circle. And so, Troy, if you may, the great people here at First Things First said, we got hot dogs for everybody.
Glizzy's on deck.
That's right.
There we go.
Now, I don't know why we have any ketchup here. These are going to be Chicago-style dogs.
Ketchup's not allowed.
Not allowed. Greg, will you eat a hot dog with me?
You know, I'm not a big Glizzy fan,
Listen, they've been here a while. Theater of the mind.
Okay.
But, I mean, players coach, Ben Johnson, taking his shirt off. The guys love it, right? You got to get on board. Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, they're gonna kill me in the barbershop.
Yeah,
they
are. Cheers and a hot dog.
I just bumped Glizzy's on that.
Cheers.
You don't want a Lady in the Trampet? No? Okay, fine. Just me.
I'll say this: if they win the division, you gonna take your shirt off?
No, thank you.
See, here's
if
the
they
thing
win
about
the
that.
division.
I am a walking skeleton. You don't want to see 6'1" with scoliosis without his shirt on.
We want to see Bear Pride, though. They win the division, shirt got to come off.
Okay. I mean, listen, that's fine. I wasn't born with shame. I'll do it. Chocolate shakes at the Wiener Circle.
Bear down.